Okay. Hello YouTube, hello Twitch. Today we're going to be playing the Ace Attorney Investigations Collection again. We are in Game 2. Case 2, the Captive Turnabout. The last one, Kay Faraday... Wait, was it Kay? Was Kay accused of murder again? I forget, actually, who the first suspect was, but, it involved the president of Jane Fa. It was an interesting episode. Now we're gonna do episode 2, the Captive Turnabout. Ooh, is this a cutscene? A bell? Shadowy figure. Ooh. So this is a prison, right? Blood! Knight was murdered? By whom? By a dog. March 27th, 10:16 a.m. Detention Center. Visitor's room. Still no sign of them, huh? Yeah. How long do they intend to keep us waiting? Now, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sure the guard will bring him in any second now. The killing of Bastion Rook. Oh, his name was... Okay, wait. Bastion Rook was the murder victim in the last case. And Knight is the murder victim in this case. It's been 2 days since the incident at the park, and today we're paying a visit to the detention center. Our aim, of course, is to interview Bronco Knight, who has been charged with the murder. His trial is due to start tomorrow, and I am to be the prosecutor behind the bench. What's taking so long? You there, what's going on? I don't know, sir. I'll go and check. We've got a situation. It's Knight. He's been killed. What? Killed? In the detention center? Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Right, guard, take us to the scene of the crime at once. Yes, sir. So it didn't happen in the holding cells? But surely that was where he was being held. What's the holdup? The crime scene's this way. Where are you taking us? Doesn't this door lead to... The prison proper, yes. You mean those other cells aren't part of the prison? Not exactly, no. Those are the detention center's holding cells. That's where defendants are kept while they're awaiting trial. The area beyond this door serves a rather different purpose. Yeah, it's where the people who are convicted serve out their time. I suppose you could say it's the last place a great thief should ever want to be. I've unlocked it, sir. Please follow me. In the world? That's Knight, alright. But he's dead. How could this have happened? And how did he wind up inside the prison proper? March 27th, 10:32 a.m. Prison. Workshop. This is horrible! How did Mr. Knight get himself murdered? I can hardly believe it myself. But there can be no doubting the evidence of our own eyes. And what's he doing here? I thought he was being held in the detention center, no? He was. He must have been. His trial hadn't even begun yet. The law states that until convicted, suspects are to be kept in cells separate from the main prison. Only those who have been found guilty are sent to the prison proper. There's no way Knight should have been in here. Maybe he wandered his way over? The detention center and the prison are separated not only by 2 heavy doors, but also a lengthy corridor. That would have been a long way to wander, especially for a detainee. I suppose we'd better take a closer look at Knight's body. We'll need to examine the scene of the crime carefully if we want to get to the bottom of this. Begin investigation. This part of the floor is covered with dirt.
You know what that means, sir? Footprints.
Too many footprints, unfortunately. We'll need a specialist to identify them.
Guess we just gotta wait till forensics gets here.
Yes, and in the meantime, if you could refrain from treading all over it.
Wouldn't want to slip up and get the old jacket dirty, huh? Good point, Miss Edgeworth. Thanks.
My concern was for the footprints, not your jacket, Detective. Time to inspect every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Indeed, this area is too big to take in all at once. Fortunately, I can use RS to look further up or down. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Weird having something like this in a prison, huh? A cage inside a cage? Technically, Kay, a prison isn't made up of cages, but cells. What's the difference? No offense, Mr. Edgeworth, but you've got to look at the basic nature of things more. Yes, and the basic nature of an investigation is the pursuit of accurate facts and information. Looks like a pulley of some kind. Maybe the prisoners use it for work? I suppose so, yes. Okay, so I know you're going to say no, but absolutely not, Kay. You're not permitted to swing on that rope. Ah, I knew it!
I should have known you were being serious.
These tarps are rather colorful. They kind of stand out in a room like this, don't they? They certainly don't look like they belong in a prison. Look, there's a whip on top of them. You know who that reminds me of, right? Hey, maybe it's actually hers. Maybe she left it here? Not a chance. She and her whip are attached at the wrist. Trust me. There was a rope near Knight's body, too. Speaking of which, want to see my super stealthy rope escape trick? Thanks, but I'll let you know when I'm in need of saving. Hisk. He seems genuinely disappointed. It's a sink. It doesn't seem to contain any useful clues. Nope, no whip of treasure either. You do know we're not actually looking for treasure, right? What's with all the weird equipment? I'm not sure, but I don't see anything particularly suspicious here. Smells weird though. Kinda musky, like wet fur. I didn't know you had such a keen nose. Oh, it's nothing special really, except when it comes to sniffing out treasure. Remind me to seal all my valuables away in airtight containers. No way, Mr. Edgeworth! I'd never steal any of your stuff. But you would happily steal someone else's? I'm not sure that's entirely reassuring.
Oh, whoops.
Can't look at these bottles? These seem to be lists of prisoner reservations for this workshop. What are all these numbers, Mr. Edgeworth? Prisoner numbers, I'd imagine. I'd hate to be given a number like that. I'd rather agree. People are meant to have names. I'd much rather be called Great Thief or the Second Yasakarasu. Alright, no name for you then, I guess. Bronco Knight. Till the day before his court date. We'd better take a closer look. Huh? Is that?
Oh, I've seen one of these in your office, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm sure you have, Detective. It's a pocket chess set. The victims, I'd imagine. Makes sense. You love chess, after all.
Yeah, it would have been a good way to pass the time.
His neck brace is soaked with the blood from the hole in his neck. I would assume that's the cause of death, and that it was probably instantaneous. He wouldn't have even had the chance to cry out for help. There's a small cut on his scalp, too. Was he struck with something?
Maybe he fell and hit his head after he was stabbed in the throat?
It's possible, but it's too early to say with any certainty. Hey, you have your camera with you, correct? Could you lend it to the detective so that he can photograph the body? Sure thing. All yours, Gummy.
Thanks. Alright, here we go. His clothes sure are a mess though, huh?
Indeed. They appear to be covered in dirt. Killed instantly by a stab wound to the throat. The body is covered in dirt. There's also a small cut in his scalp from when he suffered a blow to the head.
Guess he's like me when it comes to laundry.
It would be a grave error to think that anybody else could be quite like you, Detective. A rubber glove. Yep, just the one though. I should examine it in more detail. There's mud all over it. Maybe the prisoners were making mud pies? Wish I could have joined them. I love making mud pies. Not anywhere near my crime scene, you're not. The fingers are covered in blood on this side. I think we can safely assume that this glove was dropped sometime after Knight's blood had been spilt. We can? How come? Because had it been on the floor when the pool of blood was forming, then the blood would have flowed around it, but not underneath it. Oh, meaning there'd only be a band of blood around the edge of the fingers, and not all over the backside. Assuming the glove was discarded after the blood had pooled around the body, maybe our murderer ditched it after they did the deed. It's certainly a possibility. At the very least, whoever it was that dropped it must have seen the body. You there.
Yes, sir?
Have you seen that glove before?
Yes, sir. The prisoners wear them for work. It's strange, though. Prisoners issued with those gloves are under strict orders to keep them in their cells. They aren't allowed to take them out without permission, and we always check.
I suppose that would explain why there aren't any other gloves in the workshop. The body is partially covered by a dirt-stained tarp. And there's a rope on top of it. Was Knight tied up with the rope somehow? We should take a look under the sheet as well. Ack! Look at all that red stuff! Yes, I'd say that's blood. You should keep looking around. There's bound to be more secrets to uncover. I'm sure of it. There's something on his finger. Let's take a closer look, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a ring, and an expensive-looking one at that.
Don't even think about it, Kay.
What? I didn't say anything.
Yes, sir?
Arrested
for murder on the afternoon of the 25th and killed on the morning of the 27th. Talk about instant karma. Never would have thought our perp would turn into a victim himself, though.
Yes, I don't like this at all.
You don't think it was that ice cream guy, do you, sir? Knight had seen his face, right? Maybe he couldn't afford to let him live.
Kelly the killer, you mean? No, if this were his doing, he would surely have left a calling card. And besides, Knight isn't the only one who knows what he looks like. We do, too.
Well, yeah. And I guess we're still alive, so...
Still, this is a high-security facility. I just don't understand how it was even possible.
Guess it makes sense having the detention center and the prison in the same building. It means they can share the visitor's room.
Indeed. It's an unusual design, but it's certainly convenient for anyone visiting.
Yeah, but then why have two different areas in the first place?
For the two different classes of detainees, of course. Those pre-trial and those post-trial. The two facilities may be housed in the same building in this case, but they are actually quite different.
Well, all I know is that they're both cramped and dark, and don't let you leave when you want.
Perhaps spending a night in each would help clarify the differences between them.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Anything out of the ordinary to report, officer?
Yes, sir. There is this one thing.
Go on.
There's a body in the workshop, sir.
He's right. That's definitely out of the ordinary. If anything else occurs to you, you know where to find me. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? But this is what the inside of a prison looks like. Good to know, good to know.
Someone's highly motivated to learn today.
You're just not on top of your game, Mr. Edgeworth. This stuff is important. Gotta be prepared for when the time comes.
Which will never come for me, I must say. Still, I won't discourage you from finding out more. I need to gather a little more information myself, and then use my powers of logic to piece it together. These tarps have a pretty distinctive design. In fact, it's the same design as the bloody tarp around Mr. Knight's body. Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth.
That'll teach you to be so careless, Mr. Edgeworth. You need to keep your treasures close when there's a great thief around.
I thought you were on sabbatical.
Not a bad bit of evidence gathering. Ha! Nothing can stop us when we're on the hunt together. Right, Gummy?
You betcha. We're unstoppable. A regular 3 musketeers. Let's not get carried away, Detective. There's one thing we still haven't found. Huh? What do you mean, sir? The murder weapon, maybe? What's missing from this crime scene? I see no sign of a murder weapon anywhere. You're right. I didn't even think of that. Come now, Detective. These are basic investigative principles we're talking about here. Yeah, I guess. Sorry, sir.
Don't worry, Gummy. It hadn't crossed my mind either.
A fact that hardly puts my mind at ease, Kay. Items that could prove even potentially lethal are strictly controlled within a prison. After all, we wouldn't want the inmates getting their hands on them, would we? Which means acquiring a murder weapon would be hard enough, let alone leaving the scene with one.
Oh yeah! Nice thinking, Mr. Edgeworth!
What was the murder weapon? And where has it gone? The answers to these questions may be the keys to figuring out what happened here. Oh, didn't know the guy had a whole entourage. Excuse-moi, but this is the scene of the crime, right? Wait a second. Are you? No way. Those piercing eyes. That furrowed brow.
Mr. Fender.
It has been far too long. I know, right? But even after all this time, I'd know that deep bow anywhere. And that neckwear. Ops. Manfred von Karma. The man, the legend. Gotta say, I didn't expect to see you here. What are you talking about, pal? This is Mr. Edgeworth, not that old geezer.
Detective, please.
Edgeworth? Wow! Guess that explains the fresh face. Can't blame a guy for mixing you two up, though. You're the spitting image of the old devil in his day.
I see you haven't changed. How many years has it been?
Man, good question. Who's counting, eh? Been away traveling so long I lost track. You know how it is. You know what I do remember? Betraying everything you were supposed to stand for.
Wow, where did that come from? And who are you, anyway?
This is Eddie Fender. He's a defense attorney. Enchanté, as they say. Fender's the name, and defending's the game. I'm a bit of an ace attorney. Detective Dick Gumshoe.
And I'm Kay Faraday, great thief. I'm on sabbatical at the moment, though.
A great thief? Wow, that's so romantic. Slash chic, if you will.
Right? It's nice to finally meet someone who gets it. I'm looking to expand the franchise, actually. I even made signing up super simple.
Sounds awesome. I'd love to come hang with you guys if you'll have me.
Sorry, I should have also mentioned that it's girls only. And it has to be super fun and super cool, and...
Hey, I totally get it. No hard feelings, yeah? Come on, bring it in.
You've got to be kidding.
My bad, my bad. I'm just so used to how they do things elsewhere, you know?
And why are you here, Mr. Fender?
Whoops, almost forgot this is your scene. Keeping the defense out is strategy number 1 in the Von Karma playbook, after all, isn't it? Hey, quit it with all the Von Karma stuff, pal. What gives?
Hold it!
Detective! Calm yourself. His attitude is, unfortunately, understandable.
It is?
I take it you are Mr. Knight's attorney?
Guilty as charged, Your Honor. Well, I was supposed to be, anyway.
So he was planning to represent Knight. If his client had been murdered, he and I would have faced off against each other in court. I'd better see what he has to say for himself. So the victim asked you to represent him?
Sure did. We were supposed to have a little chat today.
As was I. But a guard showed up instead and told us that his body had been found.
I'm as bummed about it as you. Even brought him some weenies to cheer him up.
The octopus weenies. Classic. Mr. Fender, you know you can't bring food into the prison.
Oh yeah, well it's here now. Want some? Little vice I picked up on my travels. So Moorish.
No, thank you.
Fine, you do you. What are you doing here anyhow? Don't tell me you wanted to hear Knight's side. Von Karma was always more of a convicted defend at all costs guy. He didn't teach you that?
That was a long time ago.
If you say so. Sure you don't want any weenies?
No, thank you. Have you met with your client previously?
Yes, indeed, Your Honor. Just yesterday, in fact. The Bronxster called me the minute he was arrested. Sounded really freaked out, man. Oh yeah, mentioned your little performance, too. According to him, you really made a nuisance of yourself.
And not a kind word was spoken, I'm sure. Well, sticks and stones and all that.
Boy, did he not like you. Trash talked you something fierce. Can't say I didn't join in the fun, though.
Fun? How dare you, Mr. Fender?
Line up, kid. I'm kind of a fixture in the visitor's room here. And I don't think I ever had that much of a gas.
Oh, so you come here a lot?
Hey, don't go getting the wrong idea, little sis. I'm never on the wrong side of the bars. Just happen to know someone who is. The visitor's room is usually where I'm at, but this isn't exactly my first time in the clink either.
In which case, I better ask him what he knows about this room. Tell me, what do you know about the scene of the crime?
Oh, this room? No, dude. What do you know about it? I'll give you 3 choices.
Is it a recreation room?
Whoa, I don't even want to know how you spend your spare time, Edgeworth. But I guess there's plenty here you can play with if you use your imagination. Props. Now let's see what the answer key has to say, shall we? Oh no, you got it wrong. This is actually a workshop.
So all the options he gave me were wrong. How infantile.
The cons come here to perform various duties. They can learn new skills too, thanks to qualifications for when they're back on the street.
I see. And how is access to this room controlled? Who has the key?
Chill out, Edgeworth. I don't have all the answers. My man over there probably does, though. Right, compadre? Yes, sir. The workshops aren't locked with physical keys. Their doors are fitted with sensors instead.
What kind of sensors?
Inmates are issued with special bracelets, sir. When they walk through a workshop door, the sensor checks their bracelets. And if they're not supposed to be there, ding-a-ling-ling, an alarm sounds. If they let it ring for too long, then bzz, they get a real shock, if you know what I mean. And if they try to break or remove the bracelet, bzz, a shock 3 times worse than that.
What? That's brutal! I guess they need to ensure that the inmates follow the rules. That sounds a bit excessive.
If they wish to pass through a door like this one, prisoners need to be accompanied by a guard. We disable the sensor for them and let them in. You get all that?
Have any prisoners used this workshop today?
No, sir. No one's been in here for days. I'd know if they had.
So no prisoners have entered, let alone used, this workshop today. Which means that there's a contradiction in this crime scene. Namely, there's something here that shouldn't be. I'll take another quick look over the crime scene and employ my powers of deduction to solve this mystery. Oh, deduce. My bad.
Eureka!
Oh man, I got the wrong one? How? Maybe it's the whole body?
Eureka!
Uh-huh. come on, come on! Hurry up and open that clasp!
This is a murder investigation. You sound like a child on Christmas morning.
Oh, please! Even your heart must skip a beat when you're about to open a mysterious box.
Not all of us think like you, Kay. Thankfully.
These are chess pieces, right? I've seen the ones you have in your office. So how come these are black and white?
Most chess pieces are. The ones in my office are custom made.
As in they're unique and probably valuable? I like the sound of that.
She's got that glint in her eye. She better not be planning a robbery.
Eureka!
How am I already stuck? There's something here that shouldn't be here.
Admit use only. I guess that means that it must be one of the prisoners who was using it, right?
Yes, you would certainly imagine so. Is it the mud?
Eureka!
The rope and tarp? Okay, there's rope and tarp here.
Eureka!
There's something present at this crime scene that shouldn't be here.
Eureka! Eureka!
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose.
Eureka!
Okay, I'm looking up the answer because I sincerely do not know. It was a rubber glove. I had the right evidence.
Eureka!
Prisoners aren't able to come and go from this workshop as they please. The door sensor would detect their foot bracelets, and the alarm would sound. What's more, according to the guard, no prisoners were authorized to be in this room at all today. And yes, here we have a rubber glove, the kind we issued to inmates. This is a clear contradiction.
So where did the glove come from, sir?
I don't know, Detective. Not yet, anyway. All I know for now is that the glove is a valuable piece of evidence. Investigation complete. You, apart from prisoners and guards, who else has access to this room?
No one, sir. This is a prison after all. Prisoners and guards are pretty much all there is.
Mr. Fender?
Come on, don't play us like that, friend. We both know that's not true. You know as well as I do that prisoners and guards aren't the only ones who can come in here. Huh? Oh, did you mean? But sir, there.
Mr. Fender, would you care to get to the point? Who exactly are you talking about?
What? You don't have a pair of peepers in that hard head of yours? You didn't see them on the way in? Wandering about in the corridors, chilling with their buds? I bet if you moseyed on out of that door right now, you'd trip over one of them before you'd taken a step. Listen, pal, we've had just about enough of your baloney. Take a chill pill, big guy. I'm on your side. You know, for such a wide fella, you have a very narrow mind. What did you?
Hold it!
Detective!
Sorry, sir. Look, just follow me, okay? Seeing is believing. Isn't that what they say?
I think he's talking about a dog. March 27th, 11:06 a.m. Prison. Corridor.
This is no ordinary slammer. Here the humans share their space with some special friends.
Animals?
Yep, bird and feathered fellas of all shapes and sizes. Guard filled me in on how it came about. Seems they decided to try a little experiment in animal therapy a few years back. The cons are assigned a critter each, a buddy to help keep their spirits up.
Really? Wow, that sounds like so much fun!
Plus, inmates can even earn pet care qualifications if they go through some job training with the animals.
Oh, that must be what all the equipment in the workshop is for!
You got it. Room set up specially for that training stuff. So, when you said somebody else could have been at the scene of the crime? Exactamundo, big guy. I was talking about these guys. That just means you're still talking baloney. What would an animal do with a rubber glove? Good question. All I'm saying is that it was possible. The rest is Mr. Prosecutor's problem. Mr. Edwards, sir, if you want me to arrest this piece of baloney, just say the word.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying these animals can wander freely around the prison?
You know those sensors in the doors? They detect the prisoner's bracelets and sound the alarm when somebody goes a walkabout. Well, for our furry friends, it's the other way around. They're fitted with microchips that open doors right up.
They are?
Uh-huh. They're implanted just under the skin around the shoulders. Big needle, quick jab, and voila!
What? Doesn't it hurt?
Nope, they don't feel a thing. That's what they tell me anyway. Now, where was I? Oh, right. So the point is, they're not the baddies here, so there's no reason to punish them.
It's ironic, really.
Here in this institution where the animals are caged, the animals are free to roam to their heart's content. They're not completely free, though. They can't leave the prison proper, for one thing. No sensor on that big mother of a door out, you see.
Oh. What's that tinkling sound?
Sir?
It's a dog.
Just look at that thing.
And is that a bell around its neck?
That explains the sound, I suppose.
Mr. Edgeworth, were you seriously trying to stare it down?
I refuse to lose to a dog. Not for nothing, sir, but your dog handling skills could use some work. Leave it to a pro. I know how to treat him right. Come on now, come to Gummy.
Struck out on that, huh, detective?
Man, ignored by a dog.
That dog was certainly very different to the other animals. And it seemed to have a real thing against me, and only me.
Alrighty then, you've met the menagerie. What's next? Guess we better interview some witnesses, right, sir?
Indeed. We need more information regarding what was happening on the time the body was found.
Then let's start with that guy. Hey, you there in that cell. Ignored again.
Hello. We were wondering if you might be able to tell us anything about this morning's incident. Is anyone else a little afraid of this guy?
Not a big talker, huh? It's alright, man. I'm on your side here. Let's start with a handshake, huh? Maybe a hug to break the ice? Seconds out.
What's that supposed to mean?
Hey, I get it, man. Not everyone's the hugging type. I'm cool with that. Round 1. 10 reps each.
What is this man up to? I'd better see what he has to say for himself. Your name?
From the blue corner, it's Rocco D259, Carcerado. Don't mind if I keep moving, do you, boss? Ryder can't let his heart rate drop, see?
It doesn't look like there's any danger of that. Don't you worry you'll lose too much weight doing all that.
Gotta make weight before a fight, boss. Won't even make it into the ring if you don't. So you're... Wait, I get it. You gotta be a boxer, right? Was back in the day, but it's good to stay fighting fit. Leastways, that's how I see it.
So is the bear part of your training too? Looks kind of like an apron. It's so cute.
Ain't nothing cute about Teddy. It's my partner, see? This here polar bear keeps me on my toes.
You seem to have loosened up a little. Now's my chance. Where were you and Teddy at the time of the incident?
Come on, boss. I ain't no stoolie, and I don't know nothing no-how.
I'll be the judge of that. Please, answer the question.
You punch drunk or something, boss? I told you, I don't know zip.
Ugh, so he won't play ball. Guess there's only one thing to do, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed. The more he protests his ignorance, the more certain I am that he's hiding something. Alright, let's see exactly what you do and don't know, shall we, Mr. Carcerado? Now, let us analyze the state of play. He adopts a boxing stance when he's on high alert. My guess is that things won't go well if I push too hard at such moments. When my opponent's on the offensive, I should remain calm and bide my time. He's bound to reveal an opening eventually, which is when I'll pounce. First, let's see if our friend here knows anything about the incident. I'll start by asking about his movements, and bring this fight to an end before he knows what hit him. Mind chess. Commence. Why don't you start by telling me what you've done today? You will answer me, Mr. Carcerado.
What? You want a shot at the champ, is that it? Then put him up, pal. Throwing in the towel already? That's gotta be a record.
Fisticuffs is hardly my style, but I'm more than happy to take you on in a game of chess. Incidentally, don't you get tired ducking and diving like that all the time?
You think I don't got the stamina, kid? Ooh, just you try me.
Haven't you noticed yet? Your back's into a corner here.
Get a load of this guy, Teddy. Thinks he's got the champ on the back foot. Guess I better knock some sense into him.
Curses, I should have picked my words more wisely. He tends to adopt a boxing stance when he's rearing for a fight. I should bide my time in such moments and aim to strike when he drops his guard.
I ain't tired, not today, not ever. Especially not today. Took it real easy this morning. Had me some quiet cell time, hardly broke a sweat.
Really? You look pretty sweaty to me.
Give me a break, will ya? I'm done talking, okay? I'm tired. Yeah, real tired.
You may have kept your boxing skills sharp, Mr. Carcerado, but I'm afraid your lying needs quite a bit of work. Tired? Really? I hardly think that's possible. Especially not after you just told me about your quiet cell time this morning.
Oof. You gotta be careful here, Teddy. When this guy lands, he lands.
He's hiding something, I'm sure of it. I should try asking him about what was happening at the time of the incident, both in and outside his cell. I won't need to use my fists in this next round. No, I'll deliver this knockout using carefully chosen words alone. Do you remember what you were doing at the time of the incident?
I was, catching some Z's. We both was.
The incident happened only a short while ago. You seem wide awake, all things considered.
Ryder's gotta be able to get up quick when he's down, but he needs his beauty sleep too. Builds muscle.
That's so. Then I apologize for waking you. I have read that rest is an important part of any boxer's training regimen.
You don't say. Mr. Prosecutor's savvy when it comes to the fight game, huh? Who knew?
Interesting. How do you know I'm a prosecutor? I don't remember telling you. You've been eavesdropping, haven't you? You've been listening to every word we said out here in the corridor, which means you weren't asleep and that you are lying again.
You're good, kid. Caught me clean with that one. Alright, I admit it. I wasn't catching those Z's. But what? The guy can't work out in his cell no more without lawyers getting involved? Or is a man taking care of himself a crime now?
The fact that we now know he was awake is an important development. It could well prove to be a useful clue. Did you notice anything strange around the time of the incident?
What do you mean, strange?
Haven't you noticed yet? You're backed into a corner here.
Get a load of this guy, Teddy. Thinks he's got the champ on the back foot. Just better knock some sense into him.
Versus, I should have picked my words more wisely. Answer the question. Tell me what was going on around that time.
Wish I could help you, boss. But I was asleep. We both was.
Time to deploy my clue. Enough of your barefaced lies. You weren't asleep, you were exercising. You told me as much yourself.
Oof. The counterpunch, huh? Should have seen that one coming.
It seems I have you on the ropes, Mr. Carcerado. It's time to come clean about what you know.
Alright. You don't gotta shout about it. Stomping around like you own the place. Teddy and his pals have been scared enough this morning already.
You've done well to endure this long, but I fear you'll soon be out for the count. You said the animals have been scared enough already, which implies something happened here earlier. Well, what was it, Mr. Carcerado?
Quit it, will ya? I'm getting shellacked here. Fine. Somebody yelled, okay? Real loud, real scared. Got all the little guys scared, too. Yeah, laugh it up, Mr. Big Shot Lawyer. Let me see you do the same thing in the ring.
Checkmate. Mind chess checkmate. I think we've now established that you know more than you're letting on, don't you?
Fine. I'll talk.
You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's not get carried away, Kay. Our work here has only just begun.
Hey, can we call a timeout here for a sec, guys? There's something super big I need to say. It's just, well, it's like fate brought us here today after all these years, Edgeworth. And it's a real privilege watching how you work. Eye-opening stuff, in fact. Just thought you should know I'll be telling you-know-who what you've become.
Who know who?
Need to get the lowdown, huh? Well,
Hold it!
That's enough. This has nothing to do with Kay.
whoa, don't have a cow, man. Why so sensitive?
Report whatever you wish to whomever you please. Just do it on somebody else's time.
Whatever you say, boss man. But I think he should know at least. You know, how you've been living your life since you signed on to doing things the Von Karma way. After all, you've disappointed him enough for one lifetime already, am I right?
What are you talking about, Mr. Edgeworth? Nothing that need concern you, Kay. Our focus should be on Mr. Carcerado. Now, shall we continue? It's time to hear the truth at last.
You won't land a glove on me, kid.
The incident.
There was a show, finished right around 10 a.m. Came back here after. Did me some training. Leastways, I tried to. Barely got to the count of 2 before somebody screams, "What the? Ah!" Guy was hollering and howling, crying for help. But what can I do? I'm locked up in here, right? So I tunes it out and I gets back to work.
I find it curious that you would pay so little heed to a desperate cry for help.
Like I say, boss, what can I do? Besides, this is the joint. Don't nobody thank nobody for getting involved in what ain't none of their concern. I hear you, brother. Best you could do is rubberneck from in there anyway, am I right?
You mentioned training, Mr. Carcerado. I can't help but notice how well equipped your cell is.
There's a guy, the fixer they call him.
What's a fixer?
Fella who can get his hands on just about anything you need, for a price. No way! Think he can find me a...
Perhaps, Mr. Carcerado, what you ought to ask for is a beginner's guide to giving better testimony. Because I can promise you that you'll be down for the count in 1.
You? Put me down? Try it, you bum. And what am I? Chopped liver?
The battle.
There was a show, finished right around 10 a.m.
Hold it!
What kind of show was it exactly?
Depends on the day. They bring them in from outside, see? Singers, dancers, all kinds. Gives us cons a little something to look forward to.
Nice! That sounds like fun! And you went along to see today's show?
Sure did. Can't miss a chance to get a glimpse of the outside world now, can I? Then it was over. Came back here after, did me some training.
Hold it!
What did this training involve?
Let's see now. Today was stamina and rhythm work, which means jump rope.
What? In that tiny cell? How? And what about Teddy? Isn't that dangerous for him?
There's no dummy. The second I get my rope out, he jumps up and holds on tight.
You jump rope with a polar bear clinging to your chest?
I told you, didn't I? We're partners. Besides, a little extra weight's good for me. Anyway, I started jumping rope. Leastways, I tried to. Barely got to the count of 2 before somebody screams, "What the ah!"
Hold it!
Tell us more about the scream you heard.
It was the scream of a guy about to scream his last. And I should know.
Whoa there, good buddy. There's a time and a place, you know. So it was clearly audible?
Guy backed into a corner, fighting for his life. You ever hear something like that, boss? Well, I have. And yeah, it was clearly audible. Guy was hollering and howling, crying for help.
Hold it!
And that's all you heard? There was nothing else?
Nope, nothing much anyway.
So there was something. What else did the victim say? You have to tell me.
Oh, I do, huh? Why don't you come on over here and I'll see if I can make you squeal like he did.
Whoa. Forget the kid here. He doesn't know when to quit. Come on, Miles. Apologize to the good man.
But this is clearly important. And yet he insists on remaining infuriatingly vague.
Look, friends, how about you let this slide? Please, for me.
So yeah, I heard the voice, like I said. But what can I do? I'm locked up in here, right? So I tunes it out and I gets back to work.
Hold it!
You were able to concentrate on your training even after hearing all that screaming?
Look, if he was on the outside, maybe things would have been different. Maybe I'd have seen what I could do. But this ain't the outside. I can't go no place, even if I want to.
And you didn't think to slip out from your cell to go sneak a peek? I don't think anybody else would have thought of doing that except you, Kay. If only this wasn't a prison, Mr. Knight might have lived. I somehow doubt that. Frankly speaking, there was no saving him. What? But if somebody could have just gotten to him in time, Mr. Cosmorado is clearly lying. What I don't understand is why. Let's see what I can uncover by pointing out the contradiction in his testimony. Okay. Killed instantly. So there is no screaming.
Objection!
Are you listening carefully, Mr. Cosmorado?
Huh? You trying to be cute or something?
The victim died from a wound to the throat, and very quickly at that. He had neither the time nor the ability to scream as you claim he did. You say you heard the victim's cries, and yet that would have been impossible.
But there must have been a scream. You said there was.
He said there was?
Quit looking so smug, will ya? Fine, I admit it. I didn't hear nothing, alright? But the guy in the next cell did. He told me so.
The next cell? You mean...
Huh? What do you want? I heard a scream. What of it? We came back from the show and they put us in our cells, same as always. Then just like I told this guy, I heard it. A scream. A real scary one.
Scary how exactly?
Didn't tell him this part, I guess, but it was kind of like, eek! Someone, anyone, come quickly! He's... something like that. Well, I guess it's safe to say that probably wasn't the victim.
Indeed, it sounds more likely to have been the person who found his body. Ah, that explains it. Mr. Cosmorado was telling the truth, more or less. Not really the case, though. Are there really no problems now with his testimony? I'm afraid a new problem has reared its head. Namely, why didn't you hear the scream yourself, Mr. Cosmorado?
Yeah, what gives, pal? How come you didn't hear anything when your neighbor heard it clear as day? Rawr! Eek! What do you think I did? The crime or something, huh? From inside of this here cell? Guy died over in the workshop, in case you forgot. Well, yeah, it does seem a little weird now that you mention it. He's right. Neither of us could have done it. Because let me tell you, if I could get out of this here cage and murder somebody, you'd all be toast. Eek!
Ain't that the truth? You bums ain't leaving this place in one piece if any of us can help it.
I almost forgot that these men are hardened criminals. Well, I won't be doing that again anytime soon.
I'm guessing this wasn't how you saw this going, Edgeworth?
What's my next move here? I won't get much more out of them in this state.
Overruled.
Who's there?
Order in the court.
Who died and made you the boss of me, huh? Can't you see we're kind of busy here?
Hush now. Silence is golden.
It is?
Your hands, if you please. By the power vested in me, I hereby sentence you to blissful silence. Praise be, a simple life awaits you. No money, no possessions. May the goddess of justice watch over you, now and always. Guard, if you would.
Looks like you'll be spending the night in solitary, buddy. What? Come on, please, boss. Any place but there.
There is no need to be afraid, my child. If anything, you should rejoice. This is a blessing, a chance to redeem yourself, to be reborn.
No!
Hello!
Worder Cat just raided with 4 viewers.
Thank you for the raid, Worder Cat. How are you doing? What were you up to? Hello, raiders. I'm Melody Wisp. I am an accessibility provider. I do captioning. And today I'm playing the Ace Attorney Investigation Collection. I'm on Game 2, Case 2. Doing good. I was getting taught GGST. What's GGST? I'm not familiar with that acronym. Guilty Gear Strive. Oh, okay. That's a fighting game, right? I am totally horrible at fighting games. I can never remember the controls. So, today we're investigating a murder that occurred in a prison. My first fighting game outside of Smash. I'm also horrible at Smash. I played it once with my spouse, and I kept falling off the stage. It was really funny to me, but he was really frustrated. Because he couldn't understand how I could be so bad at the game. Oof, indeed. The murder in this case takes place in a prison. We're exploring the prison right now, talking to witnesses. The murder was of the perpetrator from the last case, which is interesting. Haven't had that happen in an Ace Attorney game before. And this woman just sent someone to solitary confinement, so she's evil. O Goddess of Justice, bless your child and keep him in your care. O Holy One, we give thanks in your name. And you are? Verity Gavel, at your service. It is my honor to bear the title of judge, and to work at the pleasure of the law. And what is a judge doing in a place like this? Since you ask, Mr. Edgeworth, I have been sent here to find you. I come bearing a message from the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, and it is my sacred duty to deliver it. The Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence? What the heck is that? It is first and foremost a name that should not be taken in vain, my child, for it is a sacred phrase from the Goddess of Justice herself.
Why don't I fill you in, kiddo? The committee is a panel of 11 people whose job it is to keep our beloved prosecutors honest. In other words, they make sure people like Edgeworth here don't cross the professional line.
The panel is comprised of people from both the legal and political professions. A panel of which you are a member, I assume. I am. Allow me to thank you on the committee's behalf for your service.
Thanks for coming to see us like this. Speaking for myself, it's a real honor to meet you. It's always great to hang with a judicial compadre. Come on, bring it in and chillax. We're all friends here.
Overruled.
Need I remind you that the committee has a long-standing relationship with the Bar Association? Hey, I didn't mean anything by it. I was just trying to lighten the mood, okay?
So, your job is to find bad prosecutors and punish them?
Precisely, my child. Praise be to the Goddess of Justice for bestowing her gift of insight unto you. The committee has the power to remove problematic prosecutors from cases. And should a prosecutor truly unworthy of the title be brought to our attention, we are vested with the power to confiscate that prosecutor's badge.
And what does the committee for prosecutor, whatever you said, want with Mr. Edgeworth? We're in the middle of an investigation here.
Objection!
Pitiful! You really don't know, do you? What an ignoramus.
And who are you, pal?
Winner, Eustace Winner, prosecutor extraordinaire. Though you might know me as just the Winner, a name they call me down at the prosecutor's office. With great affection, I might add.
I have never heard of you.
And how about Detective Flatfoot over there?
Nope. Name means nothing to me.
Well, it's to be expected of an ignoramus, I suppose. Ignorance is sweet, as they say, so I'm sure most things mean sweet nothings to you.
Ignorance is bliss, Winner, and I don't think sweet nothings means what you think it means.
It is entirely natural that you aren't yet acquainted. Eustace only joined us last month.
Oh, he's nothing but a rookie?
I'm not just any rookie, I am a winning rookie, which he will prove himself to be in due time. Now let's cut to the chase. I'm here to clean up your mess, Edgeworth.
What do you mean? What mess? I fear I know exactly what he means. The committee sending an envoy with a new prosecutor in tow. I suspect I know what you're getting at, Winner. But I'm going to need a few more details. Would you mind explaining, Judge Gavel?
Very well. For the power vested in me by the Goddess of Justice, I hereby declare that in the matter of the incident at the presidential address and the murder of Mr. Bronco Knight, the committee hereby decrees that Prosecutor Edgeworth be relieved of his duties and replaced by Prosecutor Winner. Here ends the verdict.
What? Mr. Edgeworth is off the case? Just like that?
Judge Gavel, I believe I asked for an explanation.
No explanation is required. The guilty verdict is in. The goddess has spoken and her judgment is final.
Objection!
And what exactly have I done to warrant being taken off the case?
Come now, Mr. Edgeworth. Claiming ignorance of your crimes will not serve to lessen your guilt. You boarded the presidential plane, violating the principle of extraterritoriality. And while there, you performed an unsanctioned investigation and subjected a visiting foreign leader to questioning. You were one wrong move away from causing a major international incident. You vastly overstepped the authority of your office. To call it an abuse of power would be no understatement.
Objection!
I don't deny that I may have pushed the boundaries where certain rules were concerned, but there is also no denying that certain risks must be taken if one is to arrive at the truth. I refuse to concede that my actions were inappropriate.
Overruled.
And what you are saying is, that the ends justify the means, that rules can be freely ignored. That is a very dangerous way of thinking. The law is absolute. It is not to be bent to your whims.
Forgive me, but not all of us believe as you do.
Is that so? How unfortunate. Still, it changes nothing. When a trial ends, the hammer falls. Be you defendant or attorney, even if the verdict seems irrational, nothing more can be done. Nothing, that is, but to give thanks for the Goddess of Justice's divine grace. Unless you wish to appeal, to do so would be to risk your badge, of course.
So they mean to take my badge if I don't play along.
Whoa, tough break, Edgeworth.
I see you've accepted your fate. Good. Guards, if you would be so kind as to escort him out.
No! Stop! What are you doing, detective? I'm in charge now, so you'll do as I say and move out of the way. What? You're not the boss of me.
Unluckily for you, Flatfoot, that's exactly what I am.
You're holding all the cards here. I don't stand a chance. Detective Gumshoe, do as Mr. Winner says.
But, sir...
Judge Gavel. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? The committee's decision is beyond irrational. So yes, I do plan to appeal. You haven't heard the last of this. Duly noted. Until we meet again, then. Let's go, Kay. We're leaving. Right!
Oh, and remember, you know who will be getting a full report on all of this.
What, blah, blah, blah? I wonder who, you know who is. Wow, it's already been an hour. March 28th, 9:45 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. I still can't believe what happened yesterday. It was terrible, the way those two treated you.
Now let's cut to the chase. I'm here to clean up your mess, Edgeworth.
The committee hereby decrees that Prosecutor Edgeworth be relieved of his duties. Ad starts in 1 minute. And replaced by Prosecutor Winner. Here ends the verdict. Judge Gavel and Mr. Winner certainly didn't mince their words. But that's not what concerns me right now. I'm more worried about the committee's reasons for doing what they did. And what they might do next. I suspect it won't be good. To Mr. Edgeworth, are you listening to me? Yes, of course. So this is it? You're giving up on the Bronco Knight case? No, I have no intention of doing any such thing. To walk away from the case would be to tacitly accept the committee's decision. The only problem is that I don't have the authority to continue investigating. Yes? What is it, Detective?
I've got some bad news, sir. Word down at the precinct is they just arrested somebody for Knight's murder.
What? Do you know who it is?
No, but I heard they're being held in the detention center. Maybe you could go talk to whoever it is?
Good idea. Let's get down there, Mr. Edgeworth. Even without the authority to investigate, surely I can still pay a suspect an innocent visit. Okay, be right back. Ad break starts soon. Okay, we're back. Alright, we're on our way.
Me too. I'll see you there, sir.
Won't you be missed, Detective?
Nah, everyone's busy in the prison going over the crime scene anyway.
Good, then we'll see you shortly.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Kay, let's go. You got it! March 28th, 10:23 a.m. Detention Center. Visitors room. Still no sign of them, huh? Indeed. Wait, this is just like last time. Please don't tempt fate like that.
No, I can't. I just can't. Sure you can. I told you. It's just a pair of visitors.
Sounds like someone really doesn't want to see us.
No. Just talk with them, please. But one of them's a prosecutor, right? Aren't they all super scary? All they do is stare at you, right into your soul.
Ah, he must be the suspect in the...
Eek! See? I told you.
Okay, why is this man so flustered? Probably because you're being you, but I guess that's just how you are. Thanks for clearing up absolutely nothing. I think she cleared it up pretty well, actually. Hey, Mr. Suspect, you doing okay in there? We just want to have a little chat with you. No biggie, right?
Who are you?
I'm Kay Faraday, Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick. It's just a part-time gig I'm doing while I take a break from my real job, though. Funny, I don't recall ever employing you. And that's Mr. Edgeworth. He is a prosecutor, but he's not going to stare his hole into your soul or anything. Oh, please.
Really?
Really?
Eek!
Anyway, can you first please tell us your name?
It's Saint. Simeon Saint.
Well, nice to meet you, Simeon. You can call me Kay. Everybody else does.
Everyone else does.
Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, I would like to ask you a few questions, if I may. Please, Simeon. We're trying to help you, I promise.
Really?
Sigh. Thanks to Kay, it sounds like we might finally get some answers, at least. Perhaps you could start by telling us a little about yourself?
Me? Well, why would anyone want to know anything about me? I'm boring. I'm nothing. I'm a nobody.
Do you have a job?
Oh, well, it's hardly worth mentioning, really. I'm your average corporate pencil pusher. Like everybody else. Honest.
This is going to take a while. About you and Mr. Knight. And just when I thought we were making progress. Okay? So, Simeon, did you know Mr. Knight? Come on, you can tell me.
Bronco? Yeah, I knew him. We were friends.
Interesting. I wonder if he knew that Knight had been arrested. And, did you know Mr. Knight had been arrested?
Yeah, I even came to visit him.
You came to see Knight? I wonder when that would have been. And when was that, Simeon?
It was the day before yesterday, around lunchtime. I came as soon as I got the call from the cops.
The police called him? Why? How come the police called you?
They said Bronco asked them to, that he needed a favor.
A favor?
Uh-huh. He wanted me to bring him his chess set, the pocket-sized one. So I went by his place and then I came here.
A chess set? A chess set? Is it just me, or is she getting better at stealing my thoughts? He definitely is. You do know everything you think is written all over your face, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, I'm not a mind reader, just an expression reader. Amazing, right? Don't you just love having a sidekick as helpful as me? And have you read what my next move is going to be? I sure have. There's something you want to show Simeon. Indeed, let's present it to him and see what he has to say about it. So this chess set.
Oh, that's the one I brought for Bronco.
Well, that settles that, at least. We, found it next to Mr. Knight.
He always had to have a chessboard somewhere nearby. I'm not surprised he had it with him when he...
Simeon, you and Mr. Knight, you were very close, weren't you?
Yeah, we were best friends. At least, I thought we were. But I guess I was wrong about that.
What do you mean?
If I knew him so well, why was it such a shock for me to find out he had killed someone?
It's not easy discovering that someone you're close to has committed a terrible crime. It's a very bitter pill to swallow indeed.
How could it all end like this? I could never have imagined something so awful.
Something's not right here, Miss Edgeworth. There's just no way Simeon murdered Mr. Knight. Yes, he certainly doesn't seem to have an obvious motive. And again, he wouldn't have been arrested for no reason either. I wonder what grounds they had for doing so. Why were you arrested, Mr. Saint? I just don't get it. Why wouldn't he talk to me?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't.
Whoa, he answered you, Mr. Edgeworth. I guess he's not scared of you anymore.
Thank goodness for small miracles. The cops burst into my house this morning out of nowhere. And before I knew it, I was here.
These policemen. Was there a prosecutor with them?
Jazz Abdel Games just redeemed Hydrate.
Thank you for redeeming Hydrate. Hello, Jazz.
Yes, some kid named the Winner or something.
The Rookie. I thought as much. So, did they interrogate you yet?
What? I'm going to be interrogated? By the cops?
Well, yeah. I mean, you've been arrested. You're a suspect now.
No. Won't the detective shout at me and threaten me? Oh, there are always these hulking guys, right? Who get in your face and force you to... Detective Dick Gumshoe, reporting for duty. Eek! See? I told you! Please don't hurt me. Please don't crush me with those huge arms. No, please. I'm calling the cops. What's up with this guy, Miss Edgeworth?
No, nothing, Detective. You're just being you. I guess it's just how you are.
I don't get it, sir.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, Simeon is clearly innocent. So there's gotta be something we can do for him, isn't there? Mr. Saint.
Yes?
You were Mr. Knight's friend, and 2 days ago you came to visit him. You had nothing at all to do with his murder. Is my understanding correct?
Yes. I didn't kill anybody.
Very well, then. Then I will choose to believe you, and I will do all that I can to assist you.
Huh? But why would you help a nobody like me?
Let's just say that I may not be doing it solely for your sake. I have something of a personal interest in this case. That's right! It's payback time! We'll show those two whose investigation reigns supreme.
Oh yeah! Now we're cooking.
Unfortunately, I still lack the authority to conduct such investigation. As such, my resources are rather limited, and I will need to lean heavily on the ones I do have at hand. Which means you, Mr. Saint. Your information will be invaluable going forward. In other words, let's see if we can't help one another out, shall we?
Oh, I just thought of something. Why don't you just borrow an attorney's badge? Then you could represent our pal here.
Now's not the time for jokes, Gummy. I mean, Mr. Edgeworth is a prosecutor. He couldn't defend anyone if his life depended on it.
But I wasn't kidding. I just thought, helping suspects, that's what a defense attorney does, you know?
Sure, but we can do that too. The only thing that matters is that we find the real culprit in the end. So come on, let's get to work.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure you know already, but just to be clear, if our investigation ultimately proves you to be the culprit, we'll have no choice but to treat you like any other suspect.
Eek!
But you needn't worry. I believe you, or at least I have decided to try, for now. Just hold tight and try to believe in us in return. If nothing else, it might help you to feel a little less alone. Now, if you'll excuse me. March 28th, 11:22 a.m. Detention Center. Corridor. So, we talked a good game in there, but we can't even get back inside the main prison to see the scene of the crime.
Maybe defending the guy in court is our best bet after all.
Gummy can't defend for his life, remember?
Well, who do we have here?
Oh.
If it isn't Edgeworth and the gang. What are you cats doing here? Listen, pal, if you come to arrest Mr. Edgeworth again, I'll... Hey! Easy there, Detective Flatfoot Holmes. I'm here to work.
Work? What, you're here to defend somebody?
Whoa, the Keymeister nails it in one. Aren't you just the uber intelligence, one of the bunch? Uber intelligence? That's not how you use either of those words, Fender. Some may say I'm an easygoing old rogue about town, but I'm actually not a half-bad attorney. Which is why I've been summoned to the old jailer Rooney for a meeting with a new client. The suspect is one Simone Sainsbury.
You mean Simeon Saint?
Whoa, that's freaky. You know more about my job than I do.
Wait, Miss Edgeworth. This defender's a defense attorney. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I fear I might be. In fact, it could be our only option. Not so long ago, I found myself embroiled in another case that wasn't mine. I managed to worm my way onto the crime scene by agreeing to be a certain someone's subordinate. Not an experience I ever wanted to repeat, but I fear I may have a little choice. Fender,
Before you say another word, I just gotta point out the fine print. Eddie Fender doesn't take on associates. Say it ain't so! I hear you protesting, but pompous prosecutors are a no-go. Especially those of the Von Karma variety.
I should have known he wouldn't forgive me that easily. I understand why you wouldn't want to work with someone like me. What's more, I understand how you feel about all the things Von Karma. But please, believe me when I say, I'm not the man I was back then. I'm no longer under my old mentor's spell.
You better believe it, pal. Mr. Edgeworth's a changed man. Sure, he used to be the demon prosecutor, but he's not like that anymore.
I do have feelings, Detective.
Tammy's right. Mr. Edgeworth's one of the good guys now. He's not just a prosecutor, he's a hero. He got me off the hook just last month.
You don't say. Well, that escalated quickly.
But he was. There's no other word for it. He was heroic. Great thiefly, even.
Please, Fender. Don't you think there's something odd about the way the committee stepped in yesterday? There's more to this case than meets the eye. I'm certain of it. I can't just walk away from this. I can't. Please, allow me to help you with this investigation.
Sheesh. A bow from the great Miles Edgeworth. Never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. So enlighten me, if you will. What made the leopard change its spots?
Well, I suppose I would have to say the courtroom itself. I've experienced so many things and met so many people there within its four walls, including some old friends who showed me a better way to be. How could that not change a person?
Well, I'll be. The old you would never have bared his soul like that. That was beautiful. You might have even surprised you-know-who, and you know how much that takes. Tell you what, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start again with a clean slate. So, this is me. Edgeworth and Co-Law Offices. Eddie Fender, Senior Partner.
Edgeworth? That's right. Mr. Fender here began his legal career as an assistant to my late father, Gregory Edgeworth.
What? Your dad was a defense attorney? So, the you-know-who Mr. Fender keeps talking about is...
The clever Keymeister nails it in one yet again. That's right, I was talking about his old man. Guess you all noticed I kept his name over the door, so to speak. Least I could do for old Gregory, really. Listen, Edgeworth. Miles. I'm going to level with you here. I don't trust you. Not fully, anyway. I can't just forget about all those years you spent licking Von Karma's boots, you know? Anyone can say they've changed. I'm going to need you to prove it. And besides, you know it's what Gregory would have wanted.
Very well, I accept.
Okay, then that's enough hardball for one day. Let's move on to the fun stuff. I hereby appoint you interim associate of Edgeworth & Co. Congrats, man.
I will try not to let you down.
Well, doesn't this bring a tear to the eye? The prodigal son coming on board as his late father's firm.
Permission to come on board too. Please, Mr. Fender?
You don't even have to ask, kiddo. Welcome to the crew.
Woohoo! Thanks, Captain.
Alright, I guess it's time to go to work. So, where to begin? Any bright ideas, Miles?
Where were we when we were so rudely interrupted?
Well, I guess it's safe to say that probably wasn't the victim.
Indeed, it sounds more likely to have been the person who found his body.
I believe we need to speak with the person who found the body.
Just what I was thinking, eager associate. We do indeed.
Still detects a smile and nod, I see. That will certainly make my life easier, boss.
Now that that's decided, let's get going.
What about me? I'm a detective. I can't just hop on board as an attorney's assistant like you guys.
He has a point. I can't leave him adrift all on his own now, can I? Detective Gumshoe, I have a special assignment for you. You are to continue investigating the case under Mr. Winner. And if you happen to discover anything that seems useful, you are to notify me immediately. You're in a uniquely powerful position, Detective, and I'm going to need all the info you can pass our way.
You can count on me, sir. I'm a real pro when it comes to letting things slip to the defense.
Trust me, I know. But just this once, those loose lips of yours might be what saves our ship.
Throw wide the prison gates, good sirs, because here we come.
March 28th, 11:50 a.m. Prison. Corridor.
So any idea how we track down whoever found the Bronxter's body, Miles?
I think our best bet would be to simply ask around.
Oh, don't you dare.
Oh. Okay.
Is that a real fox? Around her neck? She's looking a little cozy. A little too comfortable. Who is this?
Excuse me, but... Oh, my, just look at you.
Are you talking to me?
Just fabulously chic, darling. Fabulously. Facial hair is so very au courant, don't you think?
Enchanté, mademoiselle, and much obliged. Defense Attorney Eddie Fender at your service. Let's get things off on the right foot, shall we? A little embrassé, perhaps.
Ooh, ho, ho, ho.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Right on the kisser. Well, else does one greet a new friend, A little smooch is entirely de rigueur, don't you think?
Wow, talk about stealing a kiss.
Indeed, an act so shameless, it puts even great thieves to shame. Physical contact is so very important as a form of expression for our little family. Everyone in this lovely home will tell you as much. Hey, if everyone else is hip to that, I could be hip to that too. Sure. Fifi Lagarde, by the way, warden of this charming abode. You may call me Fifi, of course.
So she's the warden of the entire detention center and prison facility, is she? A pleasure to meet you, Miss Lagarde. Miles Edgeworth. I am I'm an associate with Mr. Fender's practice. I hope you don't mind me asking, but were you here in the prison yesterday?
Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day, after all.
Important in what way exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps?
A meeting? Oh, heavens no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday the circus came to visit. It was a simply spectacular event featuring some terrifically talented animals. Anyone who was anyone had to be there. If you were here at home, you were watching the show with me. The performers set up a special stage in the yard just for us. We are one very lucky family, n'est-ce pas?
So she was at this circus performance for the inmates yesterday morning. Mr. Carcerado mentioned the show yesterday as well. He must have been talking about the same thing. What time did this show take place?
From around 8 until 10, maybe? Yeah, something like that.
Meaning it finished right around when the body was discovered. And by dint of having attended the show, he has a reasonably solid alibi.
Oh, would you look at the time? Sorry, darlings, but I really must dash. Feel free to explore our home, mi casa su casa and all that. Ciao for now.
Well, what now, Miss Edgeworth? The person who found the body screamed, and that scream was heard by one inmate that we know of. Therefore, our first task is to question this inmate and see where this information will take us next. Oh, it's a blurb about the guy in the cell. Let's see what it says. Prisoner number D259. Classification, habitat. See cell to the right. Not exactly helpful, is it? This grizzly fellow has a pet polar bear called Teddy. He's a former boxer who loves to stay trim and is always at optimum fighting weight. He may push his body to the max, but he's relentlessly kind to himself. Omnivore.
Who exactly is all this information for anyway?
There's a parrot in there. They even have ponies. This one's only big enough to carry a small child. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo. Except it's the humans, not the animals, who live in captivity here. No one would mind if I took one home with me, would they? If by home you mean behind bars, then no, I suppose not. There's no one in here. They took him to solitary, remember? I wonder when he'll be back. It may be a while. I got the feeling he was in pretty serious trouble. Poor guy. Did you see the tears in his eyes? He really didn't want to go. Yes, the way they had to literally drag him away was certainly unusual for a simple timeout. I shudder to think what kind of punishment he's facing right now.
Right on the kisser.
He seems to have given you quite a shock. And why is that, I thought you were a man of the world.
Yeah, well, I'm all for saying hi with a hug, but going straight for the kiss? Cool your boots, am I right? Woo me a little before puckering up, that's all I ask.
Wow, I never would have pegged you as the shy type.
That's not the issue here, I think, Kay. Yeah, she assaulted him. Listen, Miles, I've been meaning to ask. Does that front of yours turn upside down? An assistant with a permanent scowl on his face is bad for business, you know.
I don't see any reason why an associate attorney needs to smile.
That's how I know you've never worked in a private practice. It's all about building trust, man. You've got to create rapport with your clients. Smile here, a wink there, a hug to break the ice, and a card to show you're legit. Otherwise, they'll never open up.
Yes, well, each their own, Fender.
I'll give it to you straight. Running the biz was tough going at first. I mean, Gregory Edgeworth, man. Those are some pretty big shoes to fill.
I see. And what kind of cases does the firm take on?
Might be better asking what we don't. We do murders, parking fines, the whole 9 yards. Our basic principle is this. Everyone deserves a defense.
So you've never refused a request?
Well, let's just say I have certain preferences from the clients I work with.
But didn't you just say that everyone deserves a defense?
I'm just messing with you, little sis. Of course we treat all our clients the same. I mean, Gregory's name is still above the door. I've got to live up to his ideals, you know? And that means always doing my best for everyone.
Edgeworth & Co. The firm my father built, huh? There's something written here. It seems to be about the prisoner in his cell. Prisoner number D-258. Classification, Captivus pericolysis. He may look fearsome, but this lively fellow is actually a sweet-natured herbivore. He even has a pet penguin named Winnie. He's skilled at giving such real, gripping testimony, you'll swear you were there at the crime scene, too. The end. It's the kind of thing you might expect to read at a zoo, not a prison. About the person who found the body, do you happen to know where he is right now?
Could be in one of the workshops, I guess. Usually it is at this hour.
Then it seems the workshops are our next point of call. It's a mini pig, I believe. So not for eating, I hope. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo! Except it's the humans, not the animals who live in captivity here. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, it's a monkey mountain! Not something I ever expected to see in a prison, I must say. Doesn't it look fun? Not in the least. And while we were on the subject, you are not under any circumstances to climb on that structure. Do I make myself clear? But I have to show that monkey who's boss! Please, Kay, you really don't. This bench has seen better days. It's covered in rust. Yeah, only cats would dare take a nap on there. And maybe Gummy. I fear you may be right. Do you have a moment? We have a few questions for you.
Oh, she was a good girl. You're just perfect.
She really is. She's beautiful.
Meow.
She's finally noticed me, I think. I was wondering, what's her name?
It's Waggy, ma'am. She's my little friend.
Yes, right. As you were then. But I need our answers, not slothful puns. Why is there a rabbit just... I nearly tripped over it. I can see the crime scene through the window in this door. Miss Edgeworth, you can't just shove your whole face in front of a window like that. You have to do it more sneaky-like. Steal a few good looks while keeping a lookout for your enemies. I am not a criminal, Kay. So why should I have to behave like one? Yeesh, I was just trying to teach you my special sneak peek technique. Well, I have no need for any such technique. Thank you very much. Hello? Any
Nice try, kiddo, but this isn't a bathroom stall. Yo, you there! Could you help us out here, my good man? Yes, sir. What can I do for you? Is somebody using this workshop right now? Yes, sir. One of the prisoners is in there. Just confirmed it myself during the noontime roll call.
We'd like to speak to this prisoner if that's alright.
Sure, I'll go fetch him right away. Won't take a sec. Hey guys, it's your boy Red Guy. Today I'm gonna see if I'm faster than this mousetrap. Mousetrap noise. Because I'm not faster than this mousetrap. Well, at least you tried, huh? This one's all yours, Mozzie boy.
What? Why?
Let's just say I'd rather not roll the dice on someone I don't know, yeah?
Huh, and I thought adults were all supposed to be strong and brave.
Well, you're not looking so brave yourself right now. Let's call it even. Here they come.
Hello. Yes, hello. I hear you wish to speak with me.
Not exactly the hardened criminal we were expecting, is he?
My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a public prosecutor. A prosecutor, you say?
Eddie Fender, attorney at law.
What happened to being too scared to handle this?
Listen, sorry about my pal here. He gets the weirdest ideas. Prosecutor, indeed. That'll be the day. He's actually just an associate. Jeez, Miles, get a grip, will ya?
He's right. I mustn't forget that I'm a defense attorney's assistant for the time being.
That explains it. I did think you looked a little different from the prosecutor I spoke with yesterday.
So he's already spoken to Winner. Would you mind answering a few questions?
No, of course not. I'd be delighted. The name saw it. Frank saw it. The witness is all yours, my young associate.
Sure, have the intern do everything. Why not? Mr. Sawit, you are no doubt aware that a murder took place yesterday. Would you mind telling us where you were at the time the body was found?
Yes. I was in the workshop there, working as one might expect.
What kind of work were you doing?
Well, I'm actually retraining at the moment. I'm hoping to become a stylist, you see? A pet stylist, that is. Yes, so I've been studying hard and practicing every moment I can.
An unusual field of study befitting an unusual prison, I suppose.
And that's it. I certainly didn't see anything.
Interesting. I barely asked him anything at all, and he's already sweating bullets.
So, yes, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you. Sorry.
Hold it!
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mrs. Sawit. But this interview has only just begun.
I mean, even if you were to ask me,
You know something, don't you?
That's...
He's definitely hiding something. I'll need to push him a little harder if I'm going to get any answers. The first step is to analyze the situation. Let's take a look at our opponent.
I didn't see anything. I really can't help you, I'm afraid.
Something tells me he'd be a good poker player. It's hard to tell much at all from his face. And I don't think he'll be giving me much in the way of physical cues either. I'll have to rely solely on his words instead. That's the only way I'll know what's going underneath. Alright, time to make my first move. Let's see what we're dealing with here. He may be good at hiding his emotions, but everyone has to tell. Mind test. Commence. Tell me, what's your connection to this incident?
Which incident? The murder? Oh, well, it has nothing at all to do with me. Nothing.
Really?
I wouldn't dream of getting involved in anything as ghastly as that. Well, you see, how can I put this? I like to think of myself as an upstanding citizen. A good person, if you will. If you don't have anything to ask me, I do need to be going.
Perhaps a little more proactivity is called for. Mr. Sawit may be good at hiding his emotions, but he also has to tell. I just need to watch for it and respond. Forgive me, Mr. Sawit, but under normal circumstances, good people do not tend to end up in prison.
But
you do well to tell me what you know about the incident.
How many times do I have to tell you people? I don't know anything, I swear.
Surely you've noticed, Mr. Sawit, that I have you exactly where I want you.
Really? It seems to me you're just wasting my time. You should have picked my words more wisely. Sorry, I don't know what more to say, but I can't help you. My apologies, Mrs. Sawit. But considering that the incident occurred right here in the prison, I find it very hard to believe that you know nothing at all. Oh, well, yes, I suppose I can see how it might seem unlikely. But if you're looking for the person who found the body, you'll have to look elsewhere. Why do you think I'm looking for the person who found the body? I certainly never mentioned any such thing to you. Is it because you do know something you're not telling me after all? No, I just sense that's who you might be looking for, that's all. I'm simply a pet stylist in training. I don't know anything, truly. There's no doubt about it now. This man is hiding something big. In which case, let's find out what he did yesterday, the day of the incident. My opponent is very good at hiding his true feelings, but not for long. It's time to smash that mask of his and see what lurks behind that phony smile. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really don't have anything to do with the murder, then you have nothing to hide, right? Well, the day of the incident? Oh gosh, I mean, so much happened. What was it like here in the prison yesterday morning? I really don't remember. I don't have the best memory, I'm afraid. I don't have a clue as to how to push the conversation forward. I'll have to try another tack. Okay, I should have said the other thing. I want to know what you were doing, Mrs. Sawit, in detail. I told you, I'm a pet stylist in training, and that's what I was doing yesterday, training. Specifically, I was giving the animals a trim. You didn't notice any commotion at the time of the incident? I would imagine things were suddenly quite tumultuous around here. Well, commotion, you say? No, not really. Maybe I hurt someone, but... You hurt someone? Was this someone screaming by any chance? And don't try to tell me you don't remember. You continue to assert that you know nothing about the incident, Mrs. Sawit. I'm afraid I don't believe a word of it. Ah! No, I thought I heard someone yelling, but I don't really remember. The fact that you heard a scream at the time of the murder may well prove to be a useful clue. I would do well to bear it in mind. Tell me about the day of the incident. I've exhausted this avenue of inquiry. Let me try another angle. I really don't remember. I don't have the best memory, I'm afraid. Time to deploy my clue. You don't remember? Please. You literally just confirmed that you heard a scream. Oh, but I might have been mistaken. The truth is, I really don't remember. Your memory fails you yet again? How convenient. But I know you're lying, Mr. Sawit. How dare you talk to me like... I mean, I'm not lying. Surely you've noticed, Mrs. Sawit, that I have you exactly where I want you. Really? Oh, damn. I picked the wrong one. Look, if you must know, when I'm working with the animals and I get into the zone, they're all I see. Am I to understand you have something of a talent for animal grooming then? Well, my sister's technique could use a little work, but I'd say I'm quite good with the animals. They seem to like me. I'm especially good at calming them down when they get scared. Scared? And when exactly do they get scared? Surely it doesn't happen very often. Well, no, thankfully it doesn't.
scream would certainly frighten the animals, wouldn't it? Why are you going to such lengths to deny having heard the scream? What is it you're hiding, Mrs. Sawit? Tell me.
I can assure you I'm not hiding anything. I'll admit I did really hear somebody scream, but I'm not hiding anything, I promise.
The mask is finally beginning to crack, not to shatter it completely by asking about the scream itself in more detail. I'm afraid you're about to learn a painful lesson, Mr. Sawit. But hiding things from me never ends well for my opponent. When did you hear this scream?
Oh, wait, now I remember. I forgot about the show. He put on a show for his prisoners around the time of the incident, you see? Yes, performing animals, if I remember correctly. That's where I was in the morning.
So now you wish to claim that you didn't hear a scream because you were at the show? You do realize that goes completely against everything you've told me so far.
And what are you going to do about it, huh? That is, my memory is patchy, as they say.
The animal show really has to be seen to be believed. It did it? I mean, what kind of animals did you see?
Let me think. A whale?
Enough of your lies. You were nowhere near the show, were you?
Well, I seem to remember being there, but maybe I wasn't.
It's clear Mrs. Sawit wasn't at the show. This feels like a vital clue. Who did you hear screaming?
Wait, I just realized I made a mistake. When the incident happened, I was out in the yard. Yes. So, I didn't hear anyone screaming. No one at all.
Time to deploy my clue. How long are you planning to keep up these lies? I already know that you weren't at the show. The game's up, Mrs. Sawit. It's high time you told me the truth. I demand to know about this scream now.
I can't tell you what I don't know. I didn't hear any scream, not from the person who found the body.
How curious. Most people would assume that the scream had come from the victim. So then why do you think it came from the person who found the body,
I made a mistake, that's all.
How, Mrs. Sawit? How did you know it was the person that found the body who screamed? Shall I tell you? You knew because it was you who found the body. And the scream that was heard when the incident occurred didn't come from the victim. It came from you.
How did you? It's true, I admit it. But what gives you the right to treat people like this?
Checkmate. Mind chess checkmate. Now that we've established that you were the one who found the body, Mrs. Sawit, I believe you have lost any standing you might have had to withhold your cooperation.
Alright, you win. But I'm sure I won't have anything useful to tell you. It probably isn't even worth your time.
That's not for you to decide. By my hand, the truth will be revealed. Every decision I make is to ensure that ends. Except, that's not exactly what we're here to do, is it? What do you mean? We're not trying to expose the truth. We're trying to save Simeon. That's what we do now, remember? We work to get our client out of trouble. Not as a prosecutor, but as a defense attorney's assistant.
What the K-Meister said. You need to listen to the kid more, you know? A client has requested the services of Edgeworth & Co. And as your old man always said, your relationship with your client comes before everything else. So if you think Mr. Saint's well-being is taking a back seat to some quest for the truth, well, let's just say I don't like to fire people. So I need you to fight against your instincts a little harder, yeah?
This will take some getting used to. In any case, the importance of this man's testimony remains unchanged. Therefore, Mrs. Sawit, I am asking once more, what happened when you found the body? Finding the corpse.
I was in that workshop there by myself, practicing what I learned. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop. I happened to peek in through the little window, and then I saw him lying there. A man, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror.
Let me get this straight. The room you were in is next to the one where the corpse was found?
Yes, that's right. I was in Workshop B.
And you were there the whole day?
Yes, from the 7 a.m. roll call onwards. There are 3 roll calls a day, you see. 7 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m.
And they check who's in the workshop during roll call, correct?
That's right. Nothing was reported to be amiss at 7 a.m., which means that Knight's body wasn't in the workshop at all yet at that point in time.
Guess that means the murder took place after 7 a.m.
Which puts it right around the time the show was happening.
Yes, the show. I remember the other prisoners going to see it.
And therefore, anybody who wasn't at the show has no alibi. Would that be a fair assessment, Mr. Sawit?
I guess so, but I only found the body, I swear.
There's a clear contradiction in Mr. Sawit's testimony. Rooting it out should be my first priority. Rebuttal.
I was in that workshop there by myself, practicing what I learned.
Hold it!
What exactly were you practicing?
How to be a pet stylist, of course. I'm a model prisoner, after all.
So you keep saying.
I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop.
Hold it!
You found yourself there? Really?
That's right. And then I found myself peeking through the little window in the door.
Why did you think to do that?
Gosh, I don't know. I just found myself doing it, really.
You clearly weren't concentrating on your work then.
No, that's not true. I'm a model prisoner. It's just all the other prisoners had gone to watch the show. Guess I was, well, kind of lonely.
Like being stuck at school after everybody else has gone home, huh?
Yes, exactly like that. Anyway, I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop, and I happened to peek in through the little window.
Hold it!
Does that mean you didn't get a good look inside?
No, I couldn't. The window was not only small, but it had bars over it, you see. Not exactly a panoramic view.
They're just so the guards can check what's going on, right?
That's right, yes. You're a very knowledgeable young lady.
You bet. I guess you could say I know a little something about prisons now, too. I'll have to remind myself to address this newfound interest later.
Anyway, yes. I peeked in through the little window in the workshop door. And then I saw him lying there. A man, not moving, dead.
Hold it!
Could you tell right away if it was a man or a woman?
It was clearly a man. His physique, his clothes. It was also very clear that he was dead.
You could tell just by peeking through the little window?
Look, let's just say this wasn't my first dead body.
What?
You mean you're in prison for my eternal shame? Yes. This was, however, the first time I had seen another person's handiwork up close, so I quailed in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror.
Hold it!
Do you recall how exactly you screamed? Any words you might have used?
No. I only remember that I screamed.
Folks don't tend to remember much when they're busy crying out in terror, Miles.
Exactly. So yes, I screamed. That's all I remember.
He presents himself as an innocent bystander, but nothing could be further from the truth. Given what he is, things couldn't have happened as he claims. The contradiction in his testimony is as clear as day. I just need to present the evidence that proves it. I don't believe he could have seen him through the little window, because the little window you can only see like in the front, but the body was towards the back of workshop A. It might be this.
Objection!
Damn it. That wasn't the right one. it wasn't that. Is it this?
Objection!
Okay. Enough of these pathetic lies, Mr. Sawit. I'm afraid you have rather lost sight of what you are. What I am? I know precisely what I am. I'm a former newspaper salesman who's training to be a pet stylist.
Hold it!
But that's not all you are, is it? Or did you forget the bracelet you wear around your wrist? A bracelet that marks you as a prisoner and therefore unable to move around as you please. As we both know, stepping outside that door would have sounded an alarm. Well, that's... But there's no way you could have looked into the other workshop without leaving the room you were in.
Hoo-wee! Stylishly done, Edgeru.
But doesn't this mean that Mr. Sai couldn't have found the body then? Good question, Kay. Perhaps Mr. Sai himself can explain.
Well, actually, I may have forgotten to mention one very important detail. Sorry about that. I can explain exactly how I was able to see the body if you like.
By all means, go ahead. Finding the corpse, part 2.
There's a little trick we prisoners know about, you see. As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean out without triggering an alarm. That's how I was able to peek through the window and into the workshop next door. Inside, I spotted the victim's dead body, which made me scream in fright.
So he's saying... he was able to take a look next door because he had kept his arm inside workshop B as he leaned out.
Please don't tell anyone about our little trick, especially not the guards. Please?
Is this it? Is this all he was hiding? I'd better dig a little deeper into his testimony just in case. Rebuttal.
There's a little trick we prisoners know about, you see.
Hold it!
Tell me some more about this trick, Mr. Sawit.
Of course. It's quite simple, really. As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean out without triggering the alarm.
Hold it!
I suppose this allows you to enjoy a little taste of freedom?
It does. To be honest, it's one of the few things that brings me joy anymore.
A rather surprising source of joy, but rule breaking isn't exactly a demonstration of remorsefulness, is it?
Oh, but I am remorseful. I always am. I'm a model prisoner after all.
I'm beginning to suspect that he doesn't know what a model prisoner actually is. So use this trick to peek through the window.
That's right, yes. I made sure the guard wasn't looking and leaned down into the corridor. That's how I was able to peek through the window and into the workshop next door.
Hold it!
Why did you make so much of an effort just to take a look?
Well, you see, I heard noises coming from next door. And that room was supposed to be empty, so I thought it was strange.
And you went to look as soon as you heard these noises?
Yes, of course. I had to see what was going on, so I went right away.
I see. Are there any problems with what Mr. Sawit just said? You claim that you looked into the next room as soon as you heard some noise. If that's the case, you must have seen more than just a dead body, because the person who made the noises should have been in there too. You've got him quaking in his boots, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Sawit, tell us the truth about what you saw. You do, of course, have the right to remain silent, but it will do little to dispel the notion that you were somehow involved in this crime.
I'm sorry. I did see something else. But it's too insane to believe. I really thought I might have dreamt it. That's why I wasn't sure if I should mention it.
Just tell us what you saw.
Alright. It was that dog. And what I saw is the stuff of nightmares. That huge black dog had sunk its terrible teeth into the victim's throat.
What did you just say?
It was hellish. Utterly hellish. That beast. That awful beast. He killed him.
Suddenly, I don't feel so good.
Jeepers creepers. That's awful. Talk about traumatizing. It was dreadful, horrible. Now you know why I couldn't help but scream.
So there's a man-eating dog in the prison's animal population, is there?
And that really is everything, I promise. You believe me, don't you?
For now. This one seems too far-fetched to lie, even for you. I'd like you to append what you just told us to your testimony, if you don't mind.
Very well. Inside, I spotted the victim's dead body, which made me scream in fright.
Hold it!
How much do you remember about the man you saw?
Oh, I remember everything. Let's see. He had blonde hair, and his neck was covered in blood because he was
dead, yes.
We know that, Mr. Saw. Thank you very much. I'm just telling you what I saw. I thought you attorneys were obsessed with the little details. There's some serious venom behind those words. Something tells me he may not have had the best experience with defense attorneys in the past. I also saw that black dog, his mouth clamped tight around the man's throat.
Hold it!
You're sure this black dog was biting the victim's throat? Yes, there was blood everywhere. The beast's mouth was dripping with it in. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Spare us the gory details, will you? What about the victim? Was he... Eek! Don't say it, don't say it! Do you really need to ask him that, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, hey, what was that punch for? I'm on your side here. He wasn't moving at all. He was just lying there. Meaning he was already dead. There was so much blood just oozing from his neck. Oh, he was dead as a doornail, I'm sure of that. Not even the twitch of a finger. Just lifeless. Eek, enough already. Why do you have to go into every little detail like that? Give you a nice, accurate testimony. That is what you want, isn't it? Shall I add what I've said to my testimony, Miss Edgeworth? Please do. It was awful, I tell you. Terrible. Oh, he was dead as a doornail, I'm sure of that. Not even the twitch of a finger, just lifeless. He paints a very vivid picture. Well, I had a front row seat, I suppose. I could almost feel the agony of the poor man's final moments. I don't think I'll be getting any sleep tonight, Mr. Edgeworth. You won't? Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, and it's all your fault for pressing him for more gory details. I'll be having nightmares tonight myself. It's all still so fresh in my memory. I remember seeing his ring gleaming as I caught the light. It featured a snowflake motif in relief.
Hold it!
A snowflake motif in relief? You seem to have a very clear memory of this ring, Mr. Sawit. Well, I used to go door to door selling newspaper subscriptions, you see. I had to take people in at a glance. Their appearance, their mood, that sort of thing. Figuring out who exactly you're dealing with is the first step in any sale. Except in this case, you were figuring out a corpse. What can I say? Force of habit. One that served me very well in my sales career, if I do say so myself. Even so, you seem to have remembered things to an uncanny level of detail. I suppose. Nevertheless, it's true. I remember the ring, the relief, all of it. Is what he's saying even plausible, though? Perhaps I should take another look at the condition of the victim's body as we found it. I know what I saw, Mr. Edgeworth, and my eyes don't lie. The knight was bitten in the throat by a dog that lives here in the prison. Not the most plausible of explanations, I have to say. Well, they do say that pets take after their owners. But there are some things they shouldn't take after. Not if they're supposed to help reform their owners. Otherwise, what's the point of having an animal therapy program? I should probably ask Mr. Sod a little more about this dog.
Objection!
Harp was covering it. A ring with a snowflake relief. Yes, I saw it clear as day. It was carved in such fine detail. Interesting. Your testimony is certainly very accurate. In fact, I'd say it's just a little too accurate. And? What's wrong with being too accurate? I mean this. You testified to having seen a ring with a snowflake design on it. And while the victim did indeed have a ring on his finger, see, exactly as I said. There's no way you could have seen it. Take a look at this photograph. As you can see, the victim's right hand was covered by a tarp. It would have been impossible for you to see his ring, let alone what design was on it. Unless, that is, you approached the body and removed the sheet. You told us earlier you only took a look through the window and the door. Yet you seem to have seen quite a lot from such a disadvantaged location, Mr. Sawin. Who the heck do you think you are, huh? Mr. Big Shot, acting like you know it all. I mean, I saw what I saw, I swear. Oh, I know. The man's arm. It must have moved under the tarp after I peeked in.
Objection!
Nonsense. You already told us that it can't have been the case. He wasn't moving at all. He was just lying there. Meaning he was already dead. You said it yourself that the victim was already dead. And dead men don't move, do they? Woo-wee! Is that the stench of eau de desperation I smell? What are you hiding, Mr. Sawit? Tell us. Oh, you're wrong. You know what I saw. Wah! What? What? Why'd he do that? What in the world? He just threw his toupee at Edward's face. So strange. Ad starts in 1 minute. You couldn't let it go, could you? Had to keep on poking and prodding. You slimy two-bit associate attorney. It seems the real Mr. Saw has finally revealed himself. Whoa, that's quite the rug he was rocking. Came straight at you like some kind of flying black cat. Look, I'm just a sweet innocent witness here. But are you really? Because I must say I have doubts. Very serious doubts. What's that supposed to mean? You saw something that should have been impossible to see from outside the workshop. So how did you do it? That's simple. Mr. Saw, this is where you were standing when you saw the body.
Take that!
You were in the same room as the body. That's the only way you could have seen the relief on the ring. Okay, be right back. Ad break starts in a little.
Okay, I'm back.
Ha! Ha! Say what you want, but you don't have a shred of evidence, do you? Nothing to prove I was in the room with the body anyway. You can't prove it, can you? Because I was in the next room over, minding my own business and looking after the animals. Why else would I have signed out a pair of rubber gloves? For fun? Now put up or shut up. I want to see evidence that proves I was in that room with the body.
Take that!
Remind me, Mr. Sawit, what were you doing when you discovered the body?
How many times do I was practicing my pet styling techniques.
Of course. Then perhaps this rubber glove might mean something to you.
That's...
This glove was found by the victim's body. I believe it was shot by the killer. And I can't help but notice that you have a similar glove tucked into your apron.
No, this one's different.
Hold it!
Yes, that one does seem awfully lonely, doesn't it?
It's just a rubber glove. There are hundreds of them all over the prison. This doesn't prove anything.
Objection!
Not yet, perhaps, but if I were to ask the police to check this glove for prints, I have a feeling the results would be rather fascinating. It's over.
Objection!
What the? That was a pretty rad objection, am I right?
Please, Fender, now is not the time for tomfoolery.
But I have a legit objection, because this is over. There's something that still doesn't make sense. Our man here is a prisoner, right? And he's got one of those bracelet doohickeys on.
That's true. So how could he have left his workshop in the first place? This bracelet would have triggered the alarm if he tried. Right, we don't have a good explanation for that yet.
Well, anything you'd like to share, good buddy? We're all friends here. That's weird. You should be clinging onto that bracelet like the big round lifesaver it is.
In what way?
As in, it's the best hope our wig-flinging friend here has for getting off the hook for murder. Sorry, can't get into the crime scene with a bracelet on. If it was me, I'd be arguing that for my life. And yeah, he hasn't said a peep about it. I wonder why that might be, huh? The sound of silence. I suppose Miss Law Priestess did preach that silence is golden yesterday, too.
Whoa, you sound like an actual attorney for a second there, Mr. Fender.
The worst of times are when lawyers calmly show our biggest smiles. Gregory taught me that. It was part of the attorney's code he lives by. So, friends, what's the dealio? Why so coy about your bracelet? Well, to tell you the truth, it's broken. Broken? I fell over a little while back, you see, and hit it on the floor. After that, it didn't seem to set these sensors off anymore. I should have told the guards about it, I know, but well, it was awfully convenient.
I see, so your bracelet is broken. Do they really break that easily? If so, then this prison has a serious security problem. You there, could we have a moment?
Aren't you just the cutest? Ahem! Meow, how can I help you, sir?
This prisoner's bracelet appears to be broken.
What? Really? That's not good.
I'll get someone to find a replacement right away. Thank you. We'll keep hold of the broken one for the time being.
Of course, sir. I trust you'll take good care of it. Wait, bracelet sorted. Now turn our murderer in, yeah? What? No, I didn't kill anybody! Whoa there, Palio. You were the one who said your bracelet was out of commission. Or were there other inmates freely roaming the halls while everybody was busy watching the show? No, I just found the body. That's all, I promise. And when I did, that enormous dog still had his mouth wrapped around the poor man's neck. I only went into the workshop after the beast had left.
And why did you go in?
Well, oh fine. I wanted to go through his pockets, okay? He was going to rob the corpse? That explains why he remembers Knight's ring in so much detail.
Hey, why are you looking at me like that? I'm a great thief. I'd never stoop so low as to steal from a...
Well, I didn't steal anything either. The show ended just after I'd entered the room and all the other inmates came trickling downstairs thereafter. I panicked, rushed back to the other workshop and started my fake screaming. And dropped the glove in your haste, huh? I guess this all just about hangs together. Anything smell funky to you, Miles?
Other than whether Mr. Saw is the one who did it, I'd say one very significant question still remains. The question of how Knight made it into the prison proper from his holding cell in the detention center.
Woo, yeah, that one's a doozy.
I also can't help but wonder about another key feature of Mr. Saw's testimony.
That dog's involvement can only mean one thing. Mr. Syatt, yes? What is it? Were you the only prisoner who didn't go to watch the show? Well, no. There was one other who didn't. Am I right in thinking that this person couldn't have watched the show even if he'd wanted to? Yes. How did you? I knew it. I had my suspicions when we first ran into that black dog yesterday, but this confirms it. For a criminal that dangerous to end up in a place like this is unbelievable, but... Where is this person's cell? You're going to see him?
Who are we talking about here?
Him! He's not like the other prisoners you see. You know, he's special, gets treated like royalty. This better not be Manfred von Karma. But you didn't hear that from me. All I'll say is, if you value life, you'll stay well away from him.
What? Will you please stop trying to scare us all the time?
The big cheese, huh? Well, I for one definitely value my life, so that sucks. To keep him in maximum security. Which is over there.
Maximum security. Well, that's certainly one way of treating someone differently. Alright, quit being so mysterious and tell us who he is already.
Let's just say he's highly skilled when it comes to people's lives. Better than anyone, in fact. No, that's all I'm prepared to say on the subject. In fact, I may have already said too much. Well, Maldi, anything you care to share? Or are you going to leave Kay and I in the dark here, too?
The mystery man in maximum security is an old acquaintance. Let's go pay him a visit. I suspect we'll find our dark canine friend there, too.
I can't believe you found out about my bracelet.
I was expecting you to show a little more remorse.
Huh? Oh, well, of course. I am very remorseful, yes. Anyway, shouldn't you be on your way to maximum security?
A word of warning, but I suggest you be on your best behavior from now on.
Of course. I won't be stepping out of line again. As if I needed a reminder from the likes of you.
You might also consider using your best words, too, Mr. Syatt. This is the door to one of the workshops. Why do they have workshops in a prison anyway? They're for people to train in for when they return to life in the outside world. But a dead body was found in one of them, right? So then it's not really doing a good job of helping anyone return to life, is it? I suppose. That's another reason why we should aim to clear up this mystery as soon as possible. This looks like the way to the prison yard. Sadly, the shutter is locked tight. Freedom awaits on just the other side. A stoic lock and key twixt mine eyes and nose in the outdoor breeze. Such a cruel fate it is indeed. The more I think on it, the more it eats at me. And whose thoughts are you attempting to channel exactly with that soliloquy? March 28th, 12:41 p.m. Prison, maximum security. Wow, it's pitch black in there. I can't see a thing. But didn't you say that the Yatakaratsu takes flight even in the dead of night or something? Even in the depths of night, when no other bird dares to take flight. One alone soars to shine, the light of righteousness on the world's flight. And that one is me, for I am the great thief, Yatakaratsu!
Whoa, you're one powerful performer.
Thanks, but that doesn't help me see in the dark. I'm a human, not a three-legged raven. Eek!
Whoa. Mr. Edgeworth. That voice, I knew it. It has been far too long.
You remember me?
I could hardly forget now, could I? After all, you are the one who put me away.
Mr. Edgeworth? Are you talking to that dog?
Or is there someone else in there? Still can't see a dang thing. Oh, but I am forgetting myself. Forgive me. I do not often receive visitors. One moment, I will turn on the lights.
Okay, it's not Manfred von Karma. You are a heavy-footed lot. Am I right in thinking there are 3 of you in all? Very well. Perhaps we should start by introducing ourselves. I am Bodhidharma Kanyas. Okay, what is the pun in this name? Bodhidharma Canis.
I don't know.
As you may have gathered, Mr. Edgeworth and I are old acquaintances.
Canis was a notorious assassin. Some knew him as the Blind Butcher. His only weapons were a vicious hunting hound and a fearsomely sharp knife. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells, the last sound his victims would ever hear.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, you might have guessed why you have come to see me.
You know why I'm here. In fact, I'm willing to bet you know every detail of this sordid little affair already.
And I suppose we have nothing to hide from one another.
Your faithful canine friend is currently the chief suspect in a murder investigation. The person who found the body saw a dog with its mouth around the victim's throat.
Your witness is mistaken. Helmut is a gentle soul. He has my eyes, nothing more. It is absurd to think that he would do such a thing. Isn't it, boy?
Yes, it is. You're a good boy, aren't you? Helmut is more than a mere seeing eye dog. And he's certainly no good boy. He's also a trained killer. A weapon once used in this man's sordid trade.
This witness of yours, he is trustworthy, I assume?
Saw it as anything but trustworthy, and he's still very much a suspect himself. I can hardly claim that his testimony is beyond reproach.
I know then. I thought as much. Yes, I did, Helmut, yes.
It figures that he already knew who our witness is. What were you doing between 8 and 10 a.m. yesterday morning, Mr. Canis?
During the show, you mean? I was here, ensconced in these humble surroundings. I've developed a passion for wood carving, you see. An obsession, even. I was engrossed in it all morning.
And you had permission to engage in such a hobby? I can't believe someone would actually let you.
The warden and I have an understanding.
An understanding? That's ridiculous. This man shouldn't be allowed one, let alone 5 chisels. They're nothing but lethal weapons in his hands.
I was carving Buddhist pieces at first, but by the 674th, my interest had begun to wane. Well, that must have taken forever.
Time is all I have, child. In any case, my focus has now shifted to pieces such as these. I didn't know you played chess.
You play too, do you not, prosecutor?
Perhaps one day you might indulge me? You may find my game rather rudimentary. I only began after my arrival here, I am afraid. What's that piece? A dog with 3 heads? Oh yes, the dogs of war. You must forgive my little joke. This is, after all, a game of war. Soldiers, knights, castles, all doing their utmost to protect the king, all loyal to the last. I've always thought it strange that such a game has no place for a dog. After all, what more loyal weapon could an army call upon? So it's simply a piece I made for fun. Fear not, I play by the regular rules, and with the regular pieces. I can't imagine it's easy finding opponents to play here in prison, though. Oh, I have my correspondence. Correspondence chess, then. Sharing moves by post? Yes, even prisoners are allowed to send and receive letters. Their contents are inspected, of course. Although, I have yet to receive the details of my current opponent's next move. Sounds like this current opponent isn't a resident here. I suppose you know the identity of the deceased, Mr. Canis? His name was Bronco Knight, was it not? Poor unfortunate soul. You keep your ear to the ground. My ears are all I have, Mr. Edgeworth. Why am I not surprised that he's plugged into the prison's information network? But perhaps he was not so unfortunate after all. What do you mean? Mr. Knight's crime was a grave one. A crime for which he would have been made to pay dearly anyway. The attempted assassination of a president. That is no small matter. Attempted assassination?
Wait, Mr. Edgeworth, didn't Mr. Knight...
Yes, we proved that he murdered his team leader, and that there was no attempt on the president's life. Could it be? Are they attempting to cover up President Wong's fake assassination scheme? Whoa there, cowboy. You're saying the Bronx didn't actually have a pop at the press? I was hired to defend him on the charge of attempted murder.
You mean you don't know what really happened? So what, they just blamed the whole assassination thing on Mr. Knight?
It would explain why the committee was so keen to get involved.
Of course, they took you off the case to try and keep you away.
And swapped in that wiener kid to push through an attempted murder charge.
In other words, they're trying to cover up the truth. they really were trying to frame him. According to the guards, this night was it? They tell me he was violently insistent that he had attempted no assassination, which would have come out anyway when the case went to trial. I am no expert in legal matters, but allow me to say this one thing. I know for a certainty that he would not have been the first inmate in prison on false pretenses. Ugh. An uncomfortable fact, but a fact nonetheless. Yes, Helmet. Yes, it is. Yes. The courtroom is not always a bastion of truth. You believe it to be, Mr. Edgeworth? No bastion of truth, huh? I've heard something to that effect before. Yes, from a certain Interpol agent who doesn't have much faith in prosecutors.
You're not twisting the truth behind those closed courtroom doors, are you? Fueled by the kind of thinking, is it any wonder that courts produce nothing but falsities and lies? Sorry, but the truth doesn't need the likes of you to distort it today.
I never was able to fully dispel his mistrust of prosecutors.
Even Helmet understands. Don't you, Helmet? Yes, you do. The truth's revealed in court and your deductions. It is dangerous to trust either implicitly. But I am not bitter. You are not the first to make me a subject of unfounded suspicions in recent days. In fact, I was visited by another prosecutor only yesterday. He was accompanied by a judge. They even dragged the warden along, her distaste for me lingering unspoken in the air.
Not those two again! Prosecutor Winner and Judge Gavel.
They went over my cell with a fine-tooth comb, but they left empty-handed. They were looking for the murder weapon, I believe, to no avail. But I mustn't take it personally. Rumor has it that they searched every cell in the prison and still failed to find what they were looking for. I pray they weren't too disappointed. Well, that posed more questions than it answered. What do we do now?
Todd's testimony is flimsy at best. I'll need more proper evidence if I want to take Canis on.
Well, I think that's quite enough chit-chat for one day. Helmet will show you out. Good boy, Helmet. Go on now. He's not showing us out permanently, right?
Let's get out of here. Come on! Until next time, Mr. Canis.
It does pain me that our brief time must end, just as we were becoming reacquainted. I await your return, Mr. Edgeworth.
March 28th, 1:12 p.m., prison corridor. What's Kay doing up on that mountain? Now to gather the evidence I need to bolster my case. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! That's the best hiding spot you can find? It's alright, Kay. You can come down now. Where's Fender? He ran off somewhere. I had no idea he could move that fast. Fender. So, what do we do now? You and I will continue the investigation. And I know just where to start. By solving that one particular mystery that's been dogging us this whole time. Knight's body was found in one of the prison workshops. But he was presumably being detained in one of the detention center's holding cells. So how did he wind up on the other side of those heavy security doors? Let's start by investigating the holding cells. And Mr. Knight's room, right? But, what about Mr. Fender? I'm sure he'll find us when he's ready. Sure, but he is kind of our boss, isn't he? Oh well. March 28th, 1:34 p.m. Detention Center 4-door. The victim's cell is just over there. Lead the way, Mr. Edgeworth.
I have just about had it.
Who's that? Oh. Warden Lagarde. He must have come from the corridor marked no entry.
He's still not talking, ma'am? Even with the evidence you borrowed from the precinct?
No, and I've tried so many times, I've lost count. What am I supposed to do? I can't send in a blank report.
I guess a killer for hire was always going to be a tough nut to crack.
A killer for hire? Oh! I couldn't help overhearing Warden Lagarde, but were you just talking about Bodhidharma Canis?
My My, you were listening? How very gauche of you. A girl's privacy is her armor, you know.
Do you normally conduct interrogations of the man yourself?
Oh, it's not just him, darling. I try to have the occasional tete-a-tete with everyone, you see. That's what it means to be a member of the family in this little home of ours. There isn't a person who hasn't made the pilgrimage to my office at least once.
Your office?
How sweet. He's angling for an invite. Well, I suppose it is the hottest ticket in town. That fox is definitely alive. It's down this corridor here, darling. But FYI, I don't let just anybody wander in willy-nilly.
Let's see, that would put it right around here.
It's a wonderful room, if I do say so myself. All my guests rave about it. And who wouldn't want to view my fabulous garden in the yard? Ooh la la.
The yard? If it's anything like the rest of this place, it's probably full of adorable animals, right? Can I see?
Oh, darling, it's so sweet of you to take an interest, but I'm afraid that's just not possible.
Why not?
Because you're not a member of our home. If you want to see it that badly, you'll just have to get convicted for doing something unspeakable. That's a rather steep price to pay. Oh, but just listen to me chattering away like there's no tomorrow. It's time for Allie's lunchy brunch. The poor dear will be dying.
Allie?
The sweetest little deer in all the world. I know I shouldn't have favorites, but you know how it is. Now to the yard with me. Ciao for now, darlings.
I wanted to ask her more about Candace, but she dominated that conversation from start to finish.
Let's go investigate the victim's cell, shall we?
March 28th, 1:43 p.m. Detention Center. Holding cell. So this is Knight's cell. When do you think he was brought in, Mr. Edgeworth? It would have had to have been the evening of the 25th, just after the events at the lake. And then, at some point, he wound up in the prison proper. But how? There must be some evidence here that will point us in the right direction. Alright, let's get looking, Mr. Edgeworth. Begin investigation. Reflected in the mirror is... a security camera! A great thief's greatest enemy. Nothing about this place is very thief-friendly, if I'm being honest. I think that might be entirely deliberate, Kay. Guard! I'd like you to retrieve the footage from the security camera and review it as carefully as you can. If you see anything out of the ordinary, inform me immediately.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a lot of books. Let's take a look. You'll Laugh Tomorrow, an anthology. Understanding Animal Emotions, Life as a Pet Stylist. Maybe there was more to Mr. Knight than met the eye. Sadly, I don't think these were his. They were likely specially selected and placed here for the detainees, with the hope that they would want to better themselves during their time here. A Second Chance at Life, Interviews with a Former Prisoner. These books appear to have been written by current model prisoners and former inmates. Oh, I'd like to look at this one. 200 Days to Freedom, an escape story. And this one too, Making Money While Serving Time. This facility may have more deeply rooted problems than I thought. Ooh, what's a menu doing here, Mr. Edgeworth? It seems that those held in the detention center are able to choose what they like to eat each day. If they can afford it, that is. Money makes the world go round, I guess. But doesn't that make life super easy for rich detainees? Well, okay, bear in mind that the people held in these cells haven't been found guilty yet. Some of them don't deserve to be punished. Quite a few of them, in fact. So you're saying it's fine that people with money don't have as hard a time of it as everybody else? Ah! How did I wind up defending the practices of the detention system? Hey, look at this weird piece of paper. There's some sort of grid on it. Let's take a closer look. The grid appears to be a chess diagram. The victims, I suppose. What's a chess diagram? A visual representation of a game of chess. See how all the locations of all the pieces are marked? This seems to be closely fought contest. But perhaps if this pawn were... No, wait. Not now, Mr. Edgeworth. No, this is no time to be playing games. Yes, I suppose you're right. This isn't the first time I've seen this configuration of pieces. It was from a different perspective, but it was definitely the same game. Perhaps it would be wise to take another look at the evidence in my possession. game. I've seen it before. Enough with the chess chat, Mr. Edgeworth. We're supposed to be investigating here. Focus! I am investigating. This particular bit of chess chat could prove to be vital. Now, take a look at this. Can you tell me what it is? It's a chess set we saw in Mr. Canis' cell. But, I don't really know the rules of chess, so... The rules of the game are not important here. What is important are the positions of the pieces. Compare the ones in Mr. Canis' cell with these. Do you notice anything? Ah! I don't know which piece is which or anything, but... If you turn the diagram like this, there are pieces in the same squares. Indeed. There's no dog in the diagram, but that's to be expected. Apart from that, however, the positions of the pieces are identical. And what does that tell us? Oh, I have my correspondence. As unlikely as it may seem, Mr. Canis' chess opponent was... Mr. Knight? This could be just the proof we need to show that Mr. Canis had a connection to the victim. The bowl is nice and spotless. And there are no signs that the toilet paper has been used. Everything seems to be in order with this toilet here. What? Are you serious? Why? What's wrong? There's no door. There's not even a curtain. Whoever designed this place should have thought a little bit more about the people who have to live here. I think there might be a reason behind the open plan layout. A standard barred window. No signs of it having been tampered with. I don't think there's any chance our killer escaped through here. Aha! Must remember to bring something to saw through the iron bars with. As they say, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Glad I got the chance to scope this place out. Hey, we're investigating a crime scene, not preparing for your eventual escape. There's something different about this spot here. This part of the floor is weirdly clean. Did somebody wipe it down or something? Why would somebody only do this part right next to the bed, though? This must be Knight's suit jacket. But I've been doing some research on my own. Oh, and what have you discovered? I've discovered that guys who look good in suits tend to be popular with the ladies. But don't worry. Guys with frilly neck ruffles are next on my research list. Please stop. Hey look, this newspaper's got a chunk of it missing. You're right, a few of its pages have been roughly torn out. But why? Maybe Mr. Knight wanted to clean his cell but didn't have a cleaning cloth? It's not a totally implausible theory, I suppose. But who would try to clean their cell? This bed doesn't look very comfortable. But that pillow cover is very clean. Spotless, in fact. I bet this is the kind of bed Gummy sleeps in. You just picture it, can't you? No. I sense he's more of a mattress on the floor type. This part of the floor has been wiped clean. Maybe he spilled some grape juice? Who knows, but we can certainly imagine what he used to do the wiping. The torn out pages of that newspaper. Why wouldn't he just ask a guard for a cloth or something, though? Perhaps he didn't want anyone to see what he was wiping up. Investigation complete. I think we've about exhausted the cell. We've made significant progress by establishing a connection between Mr. Canis and the victim.
This is bad, sir.
Is that the guard?
The security camera footage, sir. I watched it and...
What is it? Can you show it to us?
Yes, sir. I have a small playback monitor with me.
And what are you waiting for? Let's see it. What the hell? Is that black thing? It's that dog, right? Until now, our assumption was that the crime had taken place inside the prison proper. But it seems that assumption may have been wrong. Knight had actually been attacked in this location.
Take that!
Yes, this is where the attack took place. What? You're saying that's where he was killed? But what about the video we just saw?
Yes, perhaps I should reconsider.
Take that! Take that!
Okay, so it's outside the cells.
Take that!
Wasn't there either.
Take that! Take that!
Right here in the detention center. I saw prison cells. I forgot that we were in the holding cells area. My bad.
And the perpetrator was indeed Mr. Kenneth's dog. This is just the evidence we need. And if this is where Knight was actually murdered, then one of the pieces of evidence we found here in this cell takes on a whole new meaning. If Knight's cell was the crime scene, which piece of evidence takes on a whole new significance?
Take that!
The floor of Knight's cell was wiped clean, presumably to remove something. Could that something have been his blood? Thank you, officer. Would you mind doing me one more favor?
Name it, sir.
There's a detective by the name of Gumshoe somewhere in this facility. I need you to give him a message. Tell him to have this cell tested for traces of blood and to report the results to Edgeworth.
You got it, sir.
Now we can really go after that Kenneth guy, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
No, not yet. We still don't know how Knight and the dog moved between his cell and the prison proper.
Right, so that's what we need to figure out next. What's the play, Coach? Where are we off to?
I suspect one of the guards might know something. We should ask those posted nearby and see what they have to tell us. March 28th, 2:15 p.m. Detention Center corridor.
Okay, time to get to asking. Huh?
Thanks for the tour. Later. Well, Mr. Prosecutor and his little friends. I didn't expect to run into you here. Must be my lucky day.
This is Agent Shi Long of Interpol. He was in charge of a case I worked on 2 weeks back. I thought he had gone home to Jingfa after that, but here he is. You had some business to take care of, I take it, Agent Long?
You could say that. Nothing that need concern you, though.
First a black hound, now a wolf all in black. Hey, wait, why are you all alone today?
That's true. He's usually accompanied by an army of police officers. I hear you were at it again a couple days back, sticking your nose into things.
A couple of days back?
He means the incident with the president of Jingfa.
Actually, I had thought you might be there as well, heading up the security detail.
Huh. Our president doesn't have much faith in the efficacy of his own country's police force. Maybe now he'll think twice before using contractors again. Amateurs.
Agent Long doesn't have much faith in prosecutors or the courts to do their jobs right. Which is why he's so meticulous about investigating with his hand-picked cream-of-the-crop officers. Indeed, no doubt things would have turned out differently had you and your men been in charge.
My men, huh? Yeah, those guys aren't around anymore.
What? They're not?
It's funny, isn't it? I'm a real lone wolf now.
What are you saying, Agent Long? What on earth happened?
I told you, it doesn't concern you. See you around, Mr. Prosecutor.
Wow! He seems not okay.
Yes, and I would very much like to know why.
But there's nothing we can do about it right now. We'll worry about Agent Long later. We have an investigation to conduct. Alright, let's start by talking to these guards.
I was wondering, have you seen an enormous black dog wandering around here recently? With that thing? No way. If I had, I'd... Well, let's just say I'd be a lot more nervous about standing guard here.
So, do you and this dog have some kind of history or something?
No, okay. You should know when to let sleeping dogs lie. By the sound of it, Kenneth's dog hasn't been spotted on this side of those heavy security doors. There's an assortment of trophies in here.
Just once I want to give someone a trophy.
And what sort of award would a great thief hand out?
Greatest rope escape, of course. Oh, but if I enter the contest, I guess it just turned into me handing the trophy to myself.
I'd worry more about finding a venue willing to host such an event.
Looks like there are offices down this way. No entry though, according to the sign. Don't they know that telling people not to do stuff just makes them want to do it more? It's human nature.
I would argue that it's the ability to resist such urges that make us human.
It's the door to the observation room. Observation? You mean, are they always watching us? Or maybe they're just watching you and laughing at all the weird stuff you do.
But weird stuff? I'm a perfectly normal person who does only perfectly normal things, I'll have you know.
It's a security gate that can detect metal objects. Am I the only one who gets a little nervous when I have to go through one of these? It's the same whenever I see a cop. I know I've done nothing wrong, but I still get anxious.
Maybe because you go around calling yourself a great thief, hmm? Oh man, I am in so much trouble.
What's the matter? You seem perturbed.
Oh, well you see, one of my uniforms is missing. I could have sworn it was right here in my locker.
Did it grow a pair of legs and run off somewhere?
Where in the world did that idea spring from?
Anyway, I hope you track it down soon. I'll be rooting for you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Hey, are those my faithful assistants I see before me?
Bender, and where exactly have you been?
Where have I been? I've been looking for you two. Been searching high and low. Wandering lonely through the prison halls. It was terrible, I tell you.
The prison's over there on the other side of the facility, boss.
So listen, I just got the lowdown on some seriously dynamite material. You want to hear it, right? Right?
Seamless.
I was chatting with a few of the guards and they told me something très intéressant. Turns out the Bronxster had himself a little incident 2 days ago. Pre-mortem, if you catch my drift.
An incident?
Simeon told you he came to visit his pal, right? Well, it happened right after they'd wrapped up, when Bronco was being escorted back to his cell. It was just one guard, he was handcuffed, obviously. They'd made it back, and the guard was taking off his cuffs when the Bronxster clobbered him, knocked the poor guy out, cold. Sounds like it might have been a prelude to a jailbreak. Because when the other guards showed up, they couldn't find the comrade's keys.
Are there any rumblings about Knight attempting an escape?
That's the bit that fries the old noggin. There were none. He just sat in his cell and turned up dead. And what's more, he swore right to the end that he never stole the keys. He turned his cell inside out too, with no dice.
The guard who was struck, what did he have to say?
Nothing. Poor guy was still out when they took him to the hospital. Word is, he's still there.
So there's nobody around to tell us what really happened.
What the? It's you losers. Hi, that's all we need. Oh. Why are you still hanging around here like a bad smell? Hey there, little buddy. Listen, Miles here is working with me now as an associate. Nonsense. You're all just here to cause trouble and turn my investigation into a fart.
Eustace means farce, of course. A simple slip of the tongue.
Seemed like a reasonably apt choice of words to me. Judge Cuphead, great to see you again.
I know who you are. You are Simeon Saint's attorney.
Guilty as charged. Now that we've broken the ice, how about a friendly... Or not. I'm totally cool either way.
Now, did I hear you correctly? That Mr. Edgeworth has joined the defense team? Yep, and me too. We're officially employees of Edgeworth & Co. But a prosecutor is a public servant. You would draw your sword on the goddess to work for personal gain. It's not a problem if I'm not getting paid though, correct?
Exactly, what he said. Miles here is just a volunteer. We're all about the pro bono stuff over at Edgeworth & Co.
How wonderful. So you all work without reward. The goddess would surely approve.
Yeah. I'm a regular philanthropist.
Judge Gavel, I was hoping to ask about the grounds for Simeon Saint's arrest. That information is on a need.
Is that a challenge I hear?
No, I was just asking Judge Gavel.
I'm always ready for a little verbal combat to show you what it takes to be a real winner.
How is it verbal combat if you won't let me speak? So this could prove useful. Fine, we'll do as you suggest.
Now, if you could begin by telling us why Mr. Saint was arrested...
There'll be no need for that. Eustace, we should...
Ha 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 ha! Not now, Gavel. Watch and wonder. As I put this pathetic prosecutor in his place, he's going to run rings around me.
I think you meant to say that you would be the one running rings around me.
And I will, so badly that your ears will be ringing. Prepare to be humbled, Edgeworth.
Reason for arrest.
You want to know why I arrested that man? It's simple. Simple! I found evidence. Evidence of him all over that thing. How's that for some winningly inconvertible, conclusive proof? And who saw the truth first? Why, me, of course. Winner by name, winner by nature.
Where do I even begin?
Look at you, utterly lost for words in the face of such mastery. I'll take your silence as yet another win.
Honestly, does he ever shut up?
You said that you were the one who arrested Mr. Saint, but do you even have the authority to do so, Mr. Winner? Well, obviously it was the police who actually arrested him. But I told them to do it, so I think I can claim the credit, don't you?
Of course that's what he meant. This is clearly going to take a while. A shame, really. Given that I'm much more interested in what Judge Gavel is silently thinking over there.
Rebuttal.
He's a twerp, this dude is. Damn twerp.
You want to know why I arrested that man?
Hold it!
I'm just checking, but you do know who it was you arrested, correct?
Is this some kind of joke? Of course I know who I arrested. It was... Simeon Saint.
Good to know he remembers that much, at least.
I had rock-solid grounds for arresting Simeon Saint. First-rate reasons.
Hold it!
Rock solid, you say? I'm impressed.
Hold on. I know what you're doing here. You're trying to butter me up. Well, it might work on the chumps you meet in court, but it won't work on me.
The evidence we found is certainly rather damning from Mr. Saint. Perhaps you should tell Mr. Edgeworth about it, Eustace.
Damning is right, and it was on the strength of that evidence that I decided to arrest him. It's simple. Simple. I found evidence. Evidence of him all over that thing.
Hold it!
Evidence of him was all over that thing? Could you be a little more specific, Mr. Winner?
Do I really have to spell it out for you, Edgeworth? I'd hoped even you could put 2 and 2 together.
Stop messing around. The onus is on you to provide a comprehensible testimony.
Come now, Eustace. I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth and his friends would be very interested to learn how you cracked the case. They certainly look keen to hear about it. Fine, if you insist, I'll fill in the gaps. Brace yourselves, because this is going to blow your tiny little minds. I bet you didn't even know, but the victim had, wait for it, a chess set with him, and that chess set was covered in the fingerprints of a certain Mr. Simeon Saint. Praise be to the goddess of justice for the insight she offers, and congratulations once again, Eustace. You would not object to Eustace amending his testimony, I trust, Mr. Edgeworth.
No, by all means, please do.
Mr. Saint's fingerprints were right there, all over the victim's chess set.
Hold it!
But you weren't the one who actually found his prints, were you?
Of course not. I'm a prosecutor. I leave the dirty work to forensics.
The fingerprints are certainly a problem, but then that chess set was... I should take another look at the evidence.
How's that for some winningly inconvertible, conclusive proof?
Hold it!
The only incontrovertible fact here is that you don't know how to give a proper testimony.
What are you talking about? It's not my fault if you can't keep up.
Perhaps I could be so bold as to offer some additional details. The only fingerprints found at the scene belonged to the guards, the prisoners, the victim, and Mr. Saint. I think you'll agree that Mr. Saint were the only prints that had no business being there.
Yes, exactly. Now do you get it, Edgeworth?
I do, but I'm not so sure about you.
There were other prints belonging to the victim and the guards, so only Mr. Saint's were out of place.
Hold it!
If there were other prints at the crime scene, shouldn't those people be suspects too?
Other people? I think so, not. I don't think so.
And why not?
Had Mr. Saint's prints not been found on the chess set, those others would indeed have been suspects. Yet somehow his prints were there, despite the fact that they had no business being there. Exactly, which means Mr. Saint was, Saint is...
He is neither a prisoner nor a guard. Therefore, he should not have been able to enter the prison. Finding his prince in a place he shouldn't have had access to is grounds enough for an arrest, no?
Yeah, what she said. Not bad, Gavel.
You were too kind.
Their logic makes absolutely no sense. And who saw the first truth? Who saw the truth first? Why, me, of course. Winner by name, winner by nature.
Hold it!
You saw it first, and I suppose you can prove that?
I made the connection the moment I saw the crime scene.
It was a lightning-fast deductive leap. What more evidence do you need? Well, you haven't given me any evidence at all so far, so...
You still don't get it, do you? Well, don't worry. We can't all be born winners. I'm not sure I even want to get whatever it is he's talking about. Repressing every single one of Eustace's statements. I got an achievement for that.
Well, that was kind of vague and really hard to follow.
Indeed, perhaps I better start by teaching him how to properly express himself.
Don't hold back, Mr. Edgeworth. Knock him into shape.
Objection!
And what do you think of this piece of evidence?
It was the wrong statement.
Overruled. Objection!
So the fingerprints on the chest set are the ace up your sleeve?
The what up my what?
Oh, yes, the chest set up the ace's sleeve. That's right, Edgeworth. I've got a winning hand as usual. Only your winning hand is a busted flush. Well, you see, it was Simeon Saint who brought that chest set to the victim in the first place. Therefore, it's only natural that his fingerprints are all over it.
Yeah.
That took a little while to sink in. In conclusion, those fingerprints aren't proof of anything, and Mr. Saint's arrest was premature.
Premature?
The incident took place here within the walls of this facility, and by being neither a guard nor a prisoner, it makes very little sense to suspect Mr. Saint. Oh! Now what?
I think you might be the premature one here, Edgeworth.
It's to think you were the one accusing me of being hasty. Did he only just work out what that word means?
Sure, I identified Mr. Saint as a suspect faster than pretty much anybody else.
And I won the race when it came to picking out the crucial evidence, too. I'm quick on the draw, you see. But hasty, not at all. You're right that Mr. Saint isn't a guard or a prisoner here, but he was...
Overruled.
Eustace. There's Gavel.
Butt out, Gavel. I have him right where I want him.
Forgive me, Eustace, but if I may, while the particulars of the suspect are indeed fascinating, don't we have something a little more impressive to share with the prosecutor?
Something more impressive?
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Edgeworth, Eustace made an ingenious deduction concerning the murder weapon. Perhaps you would like to hear it?
Yes, of course. That. Well remembered, Gavel. Listen to this, Edgeworth, and prepare to be amazed.
Objection!
Will this ingenious deduction explain why Mr. Saint was arrested?
Let's just say, you won't be disappointed.
Judge Gavel deliberately diverted the conversation away from my line of questioning. What exactly is she up to? The whereabouts of the murder weapon.
Fact 1. The murder weapon was some sort of metal blade. Fact 2. Potentially deadly blades are strictly controlled within the prison walls, as we both know. From these two facts, I concluded that the weapon in question must have come from outside. It must have been hidden inside the chest set. That's what I think, anyway. And since the only print to be found on the chest set belonged to the victim and the suspects, I'd say it's blindingly obvious who brought the weapon in and used it, wouldn't you?
If nothing else, his testimony this time is a little more comprehensible than the last.
Another winning deduction brought to you by one winner Eustace, prosecutor extraordinaire.
More like one winner useless prosecutor extraordinaire, if you ask me. But how could anyone even hide a weapon inside that chest set?
Good question. Why don't you take a look for yourselves?
Inside the chessboard? I suppose there's only one way to find out. There's nothing in here but chess pieces. That laugh is really something.
He seems pretty convinced the weapon was hidden in here somewhere. I better take a closer look. What? The stiff lining at the top opens like a flap door.
Wow, there's plenty of room in there.
Indeed, more than enough to hide something like a small knife. Ingenious, no. The killer set the weapon in by...
Objection!
Ha!
Huh? What do you mean, huh? So let me finish, will you? I fear you've not been listening, Mr. Winner. Or perhaps you've simply forgotten. The detention center is outfitted with a security gate. Huh? I mean, yeah, and?
The security gate also acts as a metal detector, Eustace. We must pass through another one on the way into the prison itself, remember?
Yes, that's right. Of course I remember. You definitely didn't. It would have been impossible to smuggle a metal blade through such a gate into the facility, which would seem to blow a rather large hole in your reasoning, Mr. Winner.
Overruled.
The gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subjected to a cursory check.
Are you telling me that the chest set wasn't put through the metal detector?
It should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late.
Very good. Thank you, Gavel.
It was my pleasure. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would be so kind as to begin your cross-examination.
Cross-examination? It's like she's holding a trial. Well, no matter. Let's see how well this ingenious deduction of Mr. Winner's holds up, shall we? Rebuttal. Fact 1. The murder weapon was some sort of metal blade.
Hold it!
A metal blade, you say? And do you have any evidence to support this? Ha! You mean you didn't even look at the victim's injuries? Why am I not surprised, you third rate? The fatal blow was a stab wound to the neck. And it was delivered by a knife-like blade. That much is absolutely beyond doubt. It appears that they're not yet aware of a certain other piece of information. Lots for words, are we? Then I'll just keep going. My brilliant deductions don't end there, you know. Fact 2. Potentially deadly blades are strictly controlled within the prison walls, as we both know.
Hold it!
The fact that such objects are strictly controlled doesn't mean they're actually forbidden. Well, no, I mean, some of the prisoners use scissors to cut the animal's hair, and
that avenue of inquiry was conscientiously pursued, as you no doubt recall, Eustace.
Yes, only one bladed object had been signed out by a single prisoner at the time of the incident. The item was tested for traces of blood, but none were found. I suppose he's referring to the scissors Mr. Stott was using. So there's no way the blade in question came from inside the prison. From these two facts, I concluded the weapon in question must have come from outside.
Hold it!
Outside? What does that mean exactly? Haha, the opposite of inside, you numbskull. Is that an attempt at clarification or a put-down? Because it clearly accomplished neither.
What Eustace means to say is that it must have been brought in from outside the prison by Mr. Saint.
Honestly, Edgeworth, if you hadn't figured that out by now, then you're an even bigger loser than I thought. The feeling is mutual, believe me. Mr. Saint clearly brought the weapon into the prison. The question is, how? It must have been hidden inside the chest set. That's what I think, anyway.
Hold it!
But no murder weapon was found at the crime scene, and there's nothing inside the chessboard either. I'm curious, Mr. Winner. Do you also have thoughts about where this weapon might be? Well, the perpetrator must have hidden it somewhere in the prison. Is there a problem with this claim? They hid it somewhere inside the prison? That seems unlikely. In fact, I can prove that's not the case. What evidence suggests the murder weapon isn't hiding somewhere in the prison? I don't think I have any evidence for this.
to 1 minute.
Take that!
I'm starting to worry about your memory, Mr. Winner. Didn't you and the good judge search the prison with Warden Lagarde? And didn't you fail to find a likely murder weapon? Well, yes, but I guess we just missed it, that's all. Wow, way to undermine yourself. You're saying your search wasn't entirely thorough? You, the so-called winning rookie? Stop making fun of me! Eustace, calm yourself. Breathe deeply. Do not allow your opponent to get under your skin. You're right. I'm a winner! Why should I let a third-rate loser like Edgeworthless here get under my skin?
Be right back. Edgeworthless, what the fuck? That's quite the nickname.
Okay, I'm back. I'll think you leave my name out of this. Well, I'm Kate Faraday, and I'm A-okay.
Not you two, please.
Look, it's simple. Since my first rate investigation didn't turn up any weapon, it means there wasn't one to find, which leaves only one possibility. The murderer took the weapon with him when he left the prison. That's why we couldn't find it when we looked. Obviously.
Objection!
But what you are proposing is impossible. And this proves that the culprit couldn't possibly have taken the weapon out of the prison with them.
Take that!
More memory trouble, Mr. Winner? Now you're forgetting things you yourself said.
Are you making fun of me again?
Oh, so you remember what I said? But perhaps you might have been better served by remembering this.
What's that?
Wait, does he seriously not remember? It would certainly seem that way. There is a security gate at each of the entrances to the detention center and the prison proper. Coming from the prison, anyone leaving the facility would have had to pass through both of them. 2 gates, both fitted with metal detectors.
Oh wait, now I remember. Looks like he got his memory back.
So as you see, there is no way anyone could have taken a weapon out through both gates. And therefore, there is no way the murder weapon could have left the building.
Ah!
In which case, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you would care to tell us where you think the murder weapon might be? It is still here on the premises. That's the only plausible conclusion to be drawn.
But we searched the prison from top to bottom and couldn't find anything.
Because you were never going to find anything to begin with. Not when you were laboring under the misconception that it's a blade you were looking for.
Yeah, we know the truth about what happened to Mr. Knight. We've seen it with our own eyes.
That is quite a claim. I assume you have the evidence to support it. What is the weapon that was used to commit the crime? Take a look at this, Judge Gavel, and the weapon used in this case will become clear.
Take that!
This is footage taken from a security camera trained on Knight's holding cell. Now watch it for yourselves and see.
What? But how?
This footage captures the moment the victim was attacked by a black dog. More than sufficient proof of how he really died, wouldn't you say? Yes, it is certainly significant. So now we know the Knight was in fact killed in his cell by a vicious dog. A dog that moved the victim's body to the prison workshop post-mortem. We know this thanks to an eyewitness who saw the dog in the workshop when the body was discovered. Of course, I think we can all agree that there is no way the dog could have planned such a crime itself. Indeed, I fear it may be his handiwork after all.
Overruled.
That's quite enough of that, Mr. Edgeworth. Judge Gavel? You are correct that this footage is an important piece of evidence, but it also raises an important new question. A question that I suspect you have also been asking yourself. He's right, there is one major problem with my version of the events. The black dog, the one that belongs to one of the inmates. How did it move between the holding cells and the prison proper at will?
Oh!
How do we answer that one, Mr. Edgeworth? The truth is, I don't know yet.
Of course not.
Can it, Wonder Boy? You didn't even notice there was a problem.
Overruled.
Until the defense provides an adequate explanation, the court cannot accept your line of logic. That is all. This court is adjourned. But, wait! There's still so much more to explore!
Overruled.
Court is no longer in session, Mr. Edgeworth. If you would be so kind as to leave the courtroom. Court was never in session in the first place. Once again, this court is
Objection!
We may not have all the answers yet, but you haven't explained anything either regarding Mr. Saint. What do you mean? Just as we don't yet know how the dog made it into one of the detention center's holding cells, we can't know how Mr. Saint could have made it inside the detention center, let alone the prison either. He would have been allowed as far as the visitor's room to see his friend, but no further. So it's hard for me to conceive how he could have committed a crime in a place he had no access to. Judge Gavel, I believe it's your turn to provide some proof. Proof that Simeon Saint was able to enter the prison.
Overruled.
Haha. You wish for the court to provide you with proof. Highly irregular, but very well. What? They actually have something? Now seems like as good a time as any. And I suppose you have been kind enough to share your own theories on the case. What's she building up to here? Mr. Edgeworth, I suspect you don't know what Mr. Saint does for a living.
Well, allow me to fill you in. He is a circus performer. A what? Yes, perhaps you've heard of the very big circus. Oh, don't be silly, darling. Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day, after all. Important in what way, exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps? A meeting? Oh, heavens no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday the circus came to visit. You see it now, I assume? As I am sure you are aware, a show was held yesterday for the prisoners' entertainment. A show featuring animals and performers, performed by members of the very big circus. So, does that mean Mr. Saint? Yes, Mr. Saint was allowed inside the prison as part of that show. A fact that has been confirmed beyond reasonable doubt. No! She held on to that fact until the last possible moment. She let me run with my own theory, and only afterwards did she use it to reveal the truth. Wait. Butt out, Cavell. I have it right where I want him. Forgive me, Eustace, but if I may, while the particulars of the suspect are indeed fascinating, don't we have something a little more impressive to share with the prosecutor? That must be why she steered him onto a different topic back then, too. I got you good, didn't I, you third-rate prosecutor? This has nothing to do with you. Gentlemen, this court is well and truly adjourned. If I may offer a word of advice, Mr. Edgeworth, your conduct as a prosecutor is already in question. You would do well to remember that you were removed from this case for that precise reason. What are you trying to say? That the committee reserves the right to confiscate your badge at any time. Should you wish to retain it, you would do well to avoid crossing paths with us again. Is that a threat? The goddess of justice is compassionate, Mr. Edgeworth, but she is not endlessly forgiving. Oh, and one last thing. You are no defense attorney. Abandon this foolish pretense. Thank you for your concern, but I do not abandon anything. What I start, I finish. Well, do try to remember that the two jobs are not one and the same, and that a defense attorney is expected to develop something of a bond with their client. Next time, finding out your client's real occupation might be a good place to start. Dirk! Now, I really must be going. May the goddess of justice watch over you all. So Simeon lied to us.
Not just you two. Guy took me for a ride too. What's his deal? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not having second thoughts about all this, are you, Milesy boy? Sure, Judge Cavell is a tough cookie, but that doesn't mean you can just give up the ghost. The defense never rests, as a wise man once said, and that goes for associates, too.
Don't worry, Fender. I have no intention of resting. Nevertheless, our assumption that Mr. Saint couldn't have entered the prison has been proven false, which means we'll need to restart our investigation for square one, I'm afraid. To be continued. Okay, I think I'll stop it here. Let me check to see how much more we have left. Okay. There probably is enough story for the next stream. I don't want to sit here for 6 hours again. So, next game. Okay, let's see. Is Sakyu online? Sakyu is indeed online, so we're gonna raid Sakyu. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow for more Hollow Knight Silk Song. See y'all then. Bye-bye.